be one of the biggest British University American football games, not just of this season, but of all time, as the UWE Bullets, fresh off of a loss to the Nottingham Gold, take on this surging Durham Saints. This could be an absolute barn burner. And I mean, just a little bit, maybe potentially the most amount of Americans you will see on one pitch outside of Tottenham and Wembley.
There are 8 of us on field today, so please come and see us if you have any questions, okay? Are we the speaking captains? Step in for me. There is a coin, that is heads, that is tails, that is tails, and that is heads. You're the away team, you've got the call of the toss today. Heads. Heads called? It is heads. What do you want to do? You want to receive the ball. Okay. Which end do you want to kick from? You want to kick from that end going that way? Okay, tell me you're back to that goal line, that back to that goal line. Durham won the coin toss and have elected to receive in the first half.
So the first victory of the day for the coin toss goes to the visiting Durham Saints. My name is Chris Tebbett and I am absolutely pleasured to be on comms for this game. It is absolutely sensational to be here at Hillside Gardens. I mean, these two teams realistically are looking pretty hot. I mean, we can't be talking about the postseason yet, even though as soon as this week's over with, we are halfway through the British University American football season. But it really does beg the question, what would a UWE Bullets team with 2 losses look like? Something we haven't seen in a hot minute. I mean, if you pay attention to the writers' polls over at Depth Charts What, then you know that the UWE Bullets are ranked number 3, Durham Saints ranked number 2, and Nottingham Gold ranked number 1. And I mean, that's a very strange position to be in when, let's be honest, the UWE Bullets are realistically known for just absolutely steamrolling people, and they're very much not familiar with being the underdog. But I'd say this is probably the most underdog the UWE Bullets have been, I mean, at least in the last 5 or 6 years. And I mean, when it comes to special teams for Durham, Chance Sparks, number 8 for them. You've got to watch out for him. He's had 2 kick-off return touchdowns already this season. You can see him lined up on the right-hand side for the Durham Saints. As much as it was rainy today, I'm very, very thankful to say that it has stopped. It appears that any heavenly bodies decided this game needs clear skies, thankfully. Chance Sparks, number 8, out of Linfield College in Oregon. As I'm sure you'll be inundated with US states and where players will be coming from. We do know that the QB for the Durham Saints, Nico Candido, played at Wesleyan College, or I think it's University of Wesleyan, in Connecticut. And that program very successful. To be fair, same as Linfield College for Chance Sparks, whilst obviously on the side of the beautiful red jerseys of the UWE Bullets, Ethan Gretzinger and Quinton Wimmer out of Pomona Pitzer, but also a lot of ELF talent as well, not just their OC, but Tony Anderson as well, number 8. He's been the key player that I've been told you need to watch out. There's a short delay to kick off whilst the chain crew are briefed. This is Jules' timeout. So yeah, just having a quick timeout. The chain crew, then they need to be made aware because they know how important this game is. It's going to be a battle of number 8 today. But we're going to get to see the Durham Saints offense first. And Candido, number 10, their QB, 9 touchdowns over 2 games. And I think he had 5 in 1 half, which is always impressive. I mean, when the have-a-day graphics go up and we have to put in the asterisks of in 1 half, we've only have to do it for 2 teams so far, and that's Durham and Lancashire. 2 good teams. It's going to be a great week 6. Not the first game to kick off today, or week 6 in general, as we've had Exeter versus Cardiff kick off earlier today. But right now, one of the most anticipated games, and I think one of the most exciting games. It could be an absolute shootout, and we're getting ready to kick it away right now. That is going to the right-hand side, picked up, and it's going to be given to Sparks, and Sparks is running on the right-hand side. He's not going to be able to get another kickoff return touchdown today, but a decent return for the former Linfield Wildcat. Need more Wildcats in Uni Ball. Able to break around there. I mean, great recognition there from 21 of the Bullets to be able to get that. So the Durham Saints, potentially explosive offense here. I'm excited to see it. So Brennan Pagan in at running back, but Candido's going to take it. He's going to be pursued by Anderson. And Candido is just going to throw it away, and he's going to have it. Oh, and it's going to be dropped by Marcus Liebman, but absolutely fantastic for Candido to be able to get out of the pocket, as I'm joined by Craig McLeod.
Hi Chris, how's it going? Thanks for holding the fort.
You've only missed a single, right, so you didn't even miss it because you saw it.
I run with my eyes closed, so I did miss it. As I aim to get over here, I did not running as much as the quarterback was there though.
But I mean, you can just see the athleticism there of Candido getting out of the pocket, finding a target, but just unable to connect. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Saints.
Yeah, and we've seen this UWE front already in the few games they played so far. Having an athletic quarterback is a must. He's going to be making a lot of plays on the run if other games this season are anything to go by.
Full start. On the offense, number 62. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 2nd down.
I mean, when you've got these red jerseys crashing down, I mean, you can tend to be a bit jumpy, and it doesn't surprise me at all, but some movement there from Durham is going to send them back on their first drive. A 2nd and 15 now for the currently undefeated Durham Saints.
Yeah, there's a lot of red shirts on the field, but unfortunately the quarterback's still going to get hit if he doesn't get out of that pocket because of it. As he goes to the ground this play, he's keeping it himself, slides.
So a good pick up there from Candido. Only one rushing touchdown on his Durham Saints career so far. But I mean, we got two dynamic quarterbacks here. We got Candido obviously for Durham, Gretzinger for the Bullets.
Yeah, and a really well-designed play there. You see it from the front there of UWE. Everybody crashing down on the runner. No eyes on the quarterback. Luckily, the second level of UWE were able to stop before it went any further. It looks like it will be a free play for Durham. He's going to absolutely launch it down the field. Risk of getting picked off. Ends up incomplete, but there is flags, as we expect to see, an offside on UWE.
And Nathaniel Castro was the target there for that deep shot. I tell you what, you look at this Durham Saints roster, there's a lot of absolutely fantastic football names. Absolutely fantastic. I think
Offside, multiple players on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
I mean, Chance Sparks, come on.
That's a great name.
If you don't think I'm going to get an electrifying pun in here, if he scores a touchdown, then you are wrong.
Or Chance.
Exactly.
You got lots of wordplay there that you can go with. As our head ref, Ollie Maskell, goes with the equivalent of false start on everyone but the centre for the offside call there, as they go to the air once again, looking deep, nothing there, on his feet, tons of space in front of him, looking to bounce to the outside, is going to be taken down before getting to the halfway line, but crucially enough for a new set of downs.
And Nico Candido, I mean, athleticism is the name of the game today, and I think you look at this Durham Saints roster, I would say there's no one that's really striking in terms of size, but then you have to say that means that there's going to be some athletes.
I don't know, I'm in at least 3-inch lifts today, and they still absolutely drown me with the size of them. So me and you have different different definitions of physical specimens, because they are all out in force today as Durham line up for this first down.
They're just shy of the halfway point for the Saints. So he's going to take it again, he's going to toss it to his running back, and there is going to be some space. There's going to be enough for a first down, or at least it looks that way for Durham.
Was that a little inside toss there? It looked like it was a QB QB lead before it ended up with the running back. As we see it again here, we see the QB going out, and then yeah, just a little forward. Maybe goes down as a pass in the old stat book.
But Brendan Pagan, they're picking up 9 yards on that play.
Yeah, Durham looking very good on this first drive.
Pagan switching sides. Or the quarterback, he's not joining the Bullets. So Candido drops back. Candido's looking, and it's picked off.
That is a great pick there from UWE. He works his way right in front of the intended target, and the quarterback just didn't see him. You see him back there, drops back. Really good work from this Durham offense up to this play. But as we see here, we'll have a nice wide shot of it. He's looking down, kind of staring down that side of the field. Looks like his man's open, and just with the ball being behind, lets the UWE player get in front of him there at the very end. You just see him, just see the eyes, keep him down there. That's my man, that's my target. Throws it through. You see the ball wobbles in the air. Adverse conditions really here today. That ball wobbly meant it was behind number 14, and it's led to the interception after a very promising first few plays from Durham.
So Gretzky just throws it out to the right-hand side. There's a lot of movement, but taking number 7 for the Bullets back. And it's going to be a tackle for loss as well for the Bullets.
Yeah, you can tell from when Gritzinger got the ball there, he just couldn't get it under control, but knew he needs to get the ball out quickly. Bit behind his receiver, and he's just unable to make something happen, and just gets driven back for a loss of about 4 yards there from the initial hits.
So I was speaking to some of the UWE Bullets coaching staff before this game started, and in terms of the Nottingham loss, they were like, you know what, actually, thank God we've got some competition in this division. I think that's what they really want and need, as Gretzinger fires a strike.
Yeah, and as I say, he's managed to gain some of the yards back and more, probably looking at about 3rd down and 6. And yeah, I mean, obviously, like many people, was unable to watch the game at Nottingham because I don't have that sort of money to spend on something. UWE Bullets games free on YouTube, as they should be. But from what I've been told, a lot of it was just shooting themselves in the foot, a lot of penalties, especially towards the end of the game. UWE versus Nottingham, very much, despite how the finals have gone, very much a rivalry. You know, UWE have lost twice in 5 years, both to Notts.
It's going to be a handoff running right. Oh, and getting round 33, but not quite enough. And that's going to be another tackle for loss for the Durham Saints. Durham looking very, very impressive. And you say about the rivalry between Nottingham Gold and the UWE Bullets, I feel like the Saints might feel a little bit left out over the last few years.
Well, you know, as they should. They're a very strong program, like as they have been. 33 doing a great job there of sealing the edge. Number 11 for UWE maybe could have been a bit more aggressive to try and stop that, but this Durham defense, very hyped here on the sideline. Number 48 there at the end, I believe, just came diving in, maybe a bit too late, something the referees might keep an eye on, and Durham want to avoid those needless penalties as we see a very, very rare punt from UWE. And it goes deep. It's got to take it a UWE bounce, and it still continues to do so. They're going to get really good field position here from where they were. Durham starting from about their own 20-yard line, which is where they started the last drive. So, yeah, Durham very hyped here on the sideline, and as they should be.
And we can see them definitely, everyone dapping up Rory Humphreys, their number 33, for that tackle, as now Durham take over again. I mean, again, a very promising drive in their opening drive, but can they convert this time? That is the question.
Well, it's a very rare 3 and out for UWE. You know, that is something that just doesn't happen that often, and this offense are going to have to just put what's happened in the rearview mirror. Say, see a pick, never happened. The score's still 0-0. It's like it's the first drive.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's the exact same thing as it being the first drive. Put it all behind you. You had a trial at the first drive. You know what works. You know what doesn't. Go into the air immediately on this play. Has a wide open man. Number 14. Getting hit, but not after making about 9 yards. Very close to the first down.
I mean, Utley on an island there, sort of in the middle, but not managing to get enough for a first down. But I mean, just being able to watch from this angle, the force that Candido is firing these balls in there as well.
Yeah, he really does drill it, and that's why the interception was just so different to the rest of his play. You know, we saw the ball wobble, the ball got there a bit slow, and that's just not how he plays the game. I think with that early interception, there's going to be Maybe some gloves needing replacing from the wide receivers with how these things are being slung in
So,
there.
I mean, definitely a miscue there. It just seemed as though that Candido couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to actually hand that off to Pagan, but, I mean, not going anywhere and going to take a 2nd and 1 and make it, to my eyes anyway, a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, as we see the replay, what happened there is both the read men just absolutely broke through the line, and it didn't matter whether he kept it or whether he handed it off. They were both in the mud there. And as a quarterback, if you and your running back are going to get hit, you just give it to the running back.
Yeah.
They're built for that. You're not.
So Candido looking to fire on a 3rd and 4.
He's going to
take it himself this time, making the moves, and he's going to slide.
We'll see if a flag gets thrown. It was late. It was late slide, potentially a late hit. They're going to ignore it because he got enough for a 1st down. And those slight plays are just things that we need to, UWE and Durham need to be concerned about. The coach for Durham just going to the referee like, hey, wasn't that hit on the slide a little bit late? As we see the replay here, he's already going down. There's not much you can do. But with that and how the way the UWE drive ended, it might be something the referees keep an eye on.
A fresh set of downs here for Durham. They're going to bring a man around. Candido is going to make a move.
And he does. He breaks contain there. Gets it out to his man, who makes the catch. After a gain of about 5.
But there is going to be a flag on the play. But within the matters of American quarterbacks,
Holding. Offense, number 54. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 1st down.
I mean, very, very damaging 10-yard penalty there on Durham for the hold.
Yeah, understandable though. Like as we see here, looking to roll out, changes his mind, and when you get a complete change in direction of play, it does lead to holding. You know, your offensive line can't see what you're doing. The defenders can.
So Durham now staring down the barrel of a 1st and 20.
Yeah, they've handled themselves well so far. I know the yardage doesn't seem to say that, but you know, they can get 20 yards in 3 plays as they look to the air. Throwing down the sideline, does make the catch. And we will see all that yardage gained, so it's basically like the hold never happened. 15 yards on that play for Durham.
And Freddie Nash finding some space there. I mean, looked a bit of a rough tackle. You could tell he's a hard-nosed player because it was a bit of a high-low situation.
Yeah, and he just had a lot of space there. And yeah, just gets flung completely. You know, nothing illegal about the hit. It's good tackle, get at his man, you know what I mean? Like, nice and low, nice and high. One thing I will say about this Durham QB is staring down his receivers a little bit here. It'll be interesting to see if the UWE defensive backs start to play on that a little bit as he goes to the air once more time. He's looking, he can't find anything, gonna take off on his own. He's made a 1st down. He's making a bit more, gets to the edge.
I mean, these Durham Saints players spending a lot of time, more than I think that they maybe wanted to, on the UWE Bullets sideline, being able to break it to that side. But, I mean, right now it seems the Bullets definitely need to start containing Candido a little bit more. That was a bit of a tongue twister for me.
No, but I like it. You can't contain Candido. Especially, you know, like their edge players are doing quite well. Every rush that Candido is getting is through the middle. You know, he's feeling the pressure in that pocket, coming from his left, coming from his right, and he's just going to go straight into what's been left over, and that is a massive gap, a massive amount of space in the middle of the field.
So Durham still in their half for a fresh set of downs. And Candido taking himself again. There's definitely some space there. Break into UWE territory. He's just going to walk over to his own sideline for a good pickup there.
Yeah, and he's very shifty. The game's kind of resting on his shoulders for Durham on offense at the moment. You know, not a lot going up front. Does a great job to get around the UWE defender there, and then has the speed to just keep outrunning everybody to get to the sideline after making about 7-8 yards. But a lot on his plate, and these first 2 drives, a lot on his plate currently. Keeping that up for the whole game is going to be the theme here.
It seems we're in the almost exact same scenario in which Candido threw a pick. 7 in motion, pops to him on the jet. He's found some space. There is going to be a holding.
Yeah, very, very obvious hold there. I believe number 54 again on the hold. So that's 2 holds for Durham, 2 holds for number 54. Really struggling with that UWE front is that player. Another person that, you know, would probably be offended when you said people weren't looking big and physical, because that is a big lad there.
I mean, not to name his name, but Gavin Tatum there, having another flag on the Durham Saints. And again, promising drive. They've managed to get themselves out of penalty yardage already today, but shooting themselves in the foot slightly as the momentum does wane on a penalty.
Holding. Offense number 54. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
And we do have a Bullets player down as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of players involved in that tackle. Probably just got rolled up on. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he's able to get up.
We have a timeout for an injured player on the field. Referee's timeout.
So one of the things that American quarterbacks, one of the more notable factors is they know how to slide. It's something that I've discussed before, that it's just a key thing that we don't really think about that much. And both Candido and Gretzinger, well, Gretzinger more in the past, not yet today, have shown that how effective that slide can be. But then obviously does lend itself sometimes to the late hit penalties that we didn't see there, but potentially may have been there.
Yeah, I mean, chances are with a, like, it's very difficult. You know, it's very difficult. If you as a defender are used to quarterbacks not having that skill, not having that capability, you know you're going to have to hit them. Yeah, that's the way it's going to go. And then all of a sudden they start sliding, and then you're still hitting the, you know, it's a complete change. It's almost like changing the rules on the fly. Obviously it's not, but it's just very difficult to make that adjustment. And now, are the UWE players going to second guess going for that hit and giving up a few extra yards, which is enough for a first down, all that sort of stuff. So luckily we're back. Doesn't look like the injury was too bad, which we always like to see as we see this 2nd and 12.
There's some movement on the line. It's going to be a free play for Durham. Candido fires it deep. Oh, and there was some space there, but just unable to bring it in.
Yeah, very, very good play, and that's twice that we've seen him just look to absolutely launch it. I wonder if there's a fire call where they all know, because everybody went deep there, and I doubt they were going everybody deep on 2nd and 12. So
offside on the defense, number 97. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
The dueling penalties, not being able to get all of the yardage back on the holding call for Durham, but still 5 yards. Cameron Lee, the target on that absolutely deep haul by Candido, but unable to connect.
Yeah, and he'll be annoyed with himself if he had it. You know, the Durham players here on the sideline really felt he had it. They gave away that he didn't. You know, I thought he'd caught it. It was his own teammates that let it be known that it wasn't caught.
So 2nd and 7 here for the Saints. Candido drops back. He's prepping to fire it.
Yeah, he's looking at it. He does have a man wide open, and that will be a touchdown!
Oh my Lord, what an absolutely sensational touchdown. Marcus Liebman, number 18, is going to put first blood for the Durham Saints.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play. He had so much time to throw. Again, we did see Candido, you know, not to bring up negatives, he just scored a fantastic touchdown. Absolutely staring down that he was going to launch that one deep. There was nothing else on his mind. No check down, no looks at running, as he decides, I am sending this. As we see a replay here.
Let's go, baby!
Because he drops back, looking downfield, looking, nearly gets there, but able to just get enough off of him. Good effort there at the end, but he's just got behind the defense. As we see, the extra point is good, bringing this score to Durham 7, UWE Bullets 0.
It's one of these things where I know it may just be because coming to Hillside Gardens, you just expect to see the red jerseys for the offense on the field a lot of the time. That's a point we've only seen one drive of the Bullets so far.
Yeah, and it's not something we're used to, and it's not something they're used to. They're used to being on the field a lot. They're used to being able to do what they want. They've had 3 plays, unable to do anything. Their defense has been on for a very, very long time. Again, something that they aren't used to. We obviously, you know, this is a UWE stream. We hope to see UWE turn things around, especially after taking the L last week away to Nottingham. Apparently, again, I didn't watch it. But will they be able to turn things around here and make something of this drive?
I mean, both teams have got very, very dangerous kickoff returns. So can we see something big out of UWE?
Yeah, I think they just need to settle down a little bit. You know, it's hard to tell because Durham have been playing so well. It's hard to tell if UWE have been a little bit out of sorts. People may be missing their assignment a little bit. It's really hard to tell because Durham are playing so well. As UWE get ready to make this return, and there's a fumble. Very rare. Picking it up, scrambling around, got a little bit of space. Is he going to be able to get to the edge? Not really. And he will be out of bounds.
I mean, when a kickoff is bobbled, just being able to get it and make any sort of yardage and keep that ball in your possession, that's a positive. But you never want to bobble it, of course.
Yeah, and let's see what you were able to do. A couple of mistakes, like you said, couple of mistakes, long couple of drives from Durham. They really need to, you know, switch on a little bit here. It's not the winter break just yet. They got games to play. Doing a really good job there to break tackle for the first instance, and being able to get out to about the 24-25 yard line there. As they're going to the ground, big space in the middle. He's found a gap. Lots of defenders around him, unable to stop him before getting to about the halfway line. Sorry, too excited, too cold, and trying to get too many words out. What we do know is that will be a UWE first down, and they needed that. They needed that. It's quieted down this Durham sideline. It's managed to get some yards that they weren't able to get in that first drive.
I mean, that is the sort of play you call a momentum breaker.
Exactly.
It seems like the weight of the world was on the UWE Bullets' shoulders, and a play like that takes a little bit of the edge off.
Yeah, and I tell you what, go to it again. Yeah, go to the ground again.
They're not enough for a first down, but still very, very impressive.
Listen, they've just made, what, 33 yards in 2 plays? They're going to be extremely happy with that.
I think any rumours prognosticated by us that they were cold, I think may have gone by the wayside.
Yeah, as we see this nice cut up, good blocking there from number 14, good tackling there from Durham. We're seeing 33 and 48, a combination of Durham that made a few tackles in that first series. As Durham definitely heard me say they're not being loud on the sideline, but to the ground again, and that running game is just there all day for UWE. 3 plays for about 60, 70 yards at this point. They just can't seem to do anything to stop them on the ground. And especially because UWE can just rotate these running backs. Keep those running backs' legs fresh.
I mean, exactly the response you want after a touchdown. The flag comes flying in.
Yeah, we'll see what that's for. It's in a position where it could be holding, could be a number of things. Very quick play from UWE, really upping the tempo in this drive.
I mean, when you've got that level of rotation,
Holding.
that is one of the benefits.
Offense, number 67. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
67. Gonna do any memes about that? No.
Too old for that.
Yeah.
Too old for that. That's that's not ours to make memes of. That's not ours. As UWE will be going back 10 more yards here. And penalties really the story of this first quarter.
So, I mean, that run game has been working for the Bullets, but now staring down a 1st and 20. Potentially we could see a bit more airtime.
Yeah, we'll see 1st and 20. Looks like they're going to the ground again, finding some space, finding the outside, kind of back up the middle, some good blocking, taken down, and makes up more than enough to dissipate that initial penalty yardage. We'll be looking at about 2nd and 3 here. There are whistles. I don't know if this whistle's for a flag.
I think it's for end of half.
Quarter, hopefully.
Yes, end of quarter.
Yes, it looks like it is, as we see both teams going to the sideline.
Of the first quarter.
So, I mean, first quarter, athleticism of Candido, and then now the run game of the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a ground day today, other than obviously the absolute bomb that Candido threw to put this score to 7-0. The run game seems to be what's open, whether it's Candido on his legs, just making up for the space that UWE have given him, or whether it's this UWE running back room that is just gone, just give us the ball and we will do the rest. Cheers, coach.
You know, as this game could potentially be close, Durham giving the Bullets the ball in the second half could prove to be something that we may have to really consider when it comes to the final score here. But Obviously, that's very much ahead of myself, considering that the UWE Bullets have not yet put points on the board.
No, but it's worth considering because we are already at the second quarter. Normally, you know, we'd be looking at a different scoreline. That was an incredibly fast first quarter, but most of the plays were on the ground. There was very rare incompletions, obviously a few penalties that slowed things down a little bit, but other than that, both teams using the ground game. It's not currently raining, but the weather has been adverse today, so we'll see if things change. I can't see UWE going to the air anytime soon, because why would you?
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Classic here. Well, you're talking nonsense.
Hey, that's why I'm over here and not coaching. Well, that and, you know, many other reasons, but
ligament-related reasons, I'm sure. But a completed pass there to Gretzky. It's going to be enough for a first down as the Bullets are making their way to the end zone of the Durham Saints.
Yeah, got enough for the first down, which is what you're really looking for in that situation. No white line fever, just get the job done. You're near the end zone. They have a very, very strong red zone offense, so hopefully they can make something happen here as we see 1st and 10.
So hand up against the left-hand side. Great block by Wimmer. Not as much yardage as they've previously got.
And the ball's on the ground. Oh, we've seen a flag. Seeing cheers, so it's for a flag.
Wow, well, that was just an explosion of things happening there. Just lots and lots of shouting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be on UWE just based off of how Durham reacted. But then seeing how the players reacted, I don't know. Let's see what the referees have to say on this one.
Initially, I thought it was Durham calling for a fumble, but just...
Yeah, that's what I thought. As soon as I heard that, thought it was a fumble.
Personal foul for striking. Defense, number 57. That's a half-distance enforcement. Automatic, first.
And then striking. Striker!
But I mean, that flag is going to help out the Bullets a heck of a lot. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that they could have made up this yardage just through play, but...
Well, I mean, if you're doing stuff like that this early on, as we see again, we'll try and keep an eye on what goes on here. 57, he's on the edge here, he's shut down, he gets body slammed. And it looks like it must... Oh yeah, he just goes to punch him in the back of the head, which somehow not an ejection.
Yeah, I thought that would be an ejection as well. Okay.
He just clearly punched him in the back of the head, but...
There's going to be a hand up, straight up the middle.
We'll take it.
There's going to be down at the 1, it looks like. Yeah, I thought that would be... When he said striking, I was waiting for the old... You're out of here.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be one of those giving him the business, you know what I mean? Like trying to punch the ball out of there. But his helmet came off. Looked like he was involved in some afters to the side there as well. Referees sent him off because of his helmet.
The Durham 57's helmet coming off during the play.
But to be honest, I think this is more get yourself out of here before you do something stupid. S-T-U-P-I-T, stupid.
I was wondering about that pronunciation, but we'll roll with it. So Bullets very much closing in on a touchdown here, straight up the middle, and it's going to be a touchdown for the UWE Bullets, 6-7. No.
As you try and do so, listen, I think you might single-handedly kill it by yourself if you keep this up. Which, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, isn't for us to decide. UWE do score though, and we do know they will be going for 2. So let's see if there's going to be a change in the lead here. And just, yeah, nice and easy up the middle. Durham players just tripping over themselves. Like we said, bit of adverse conditions means a little bit wet. It was very close. It was very difficult for them to stop them there anyway. So,
but I mean, you look at some of the stats for the UWE versus Notts game, and the extra points were an absolute killer for me. Did lose by 1. Gretzky's going to fire it. Looks like there is going to be some space. Breaks round. But it looks like Durham may actually stop it.
It looks like a stop.
Okay, so the Saints maintain the lead. And I'll tell you what, I think there's definitely some confidence here on the Durham Saints sideline. But I mean, after that penalty for striking, could it maybe be, you know, just to maybe tone it down? You're only in the second quarter and you're only up by 1.
Yeah, I mean, they did a really, really good job here, breaking down, allowed for everybody to get across. The way Durham playing this on defense did a really good job. Number 30 didn't really look to wrap up, wanted to make the hit, and I think that's what let them down on that drive, you know, not really wrapping up. But yeah, you're right, you're 100% correct. You've got a very, very hyped up sideline, which is understandable. You know, you're beating UWE, you're beating the defending champs, whether you believe it's defending or not once the season starts. You know, UWE is the team to beat. And so they're very hyped up. But like you say, too hyped up, got lucky not to see an ejection as UWE kick the ball back to Durham, and they'll be looking to score another touchdown. As he called for a fair catch.
I mean, I didn't see it. It looked as though they were in motion to give that to Candido. Oh, he did. Okay. So it was called a fair catch. We just didn't see the motion. We were too busy looking at the ball majestically flying through the air.
Yeah, so, you know, you'll have to forgive me on this one. I know the rules change on this quite a lot, but called a fair catch on about the 5-yard line, but does get it about the 25. So I know that's the way it works.
So back to what I was saying in terms of like the Nottingham versus UWE game, like those extra point conversions not being played did kill the Bullets a bit here, and obviously we've seen that sort of rear its head again. I mean, I feel like I'm trying to prognosticate some factors into the ending scoreline, but
well, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. UWE are fully aware of that. Rarely punting, rarely kicking. It's been their MO for a long time. As Durham will be looking to go to the ground here, not making any space. Tackle probably for no gain by the looks of it.
But I mean, Pagan definitely had a lovely spin on that, but not enough to break through the UWE Bullets defense.
No, you can see the UWE front just crashing down there. He does give a good old go to get out there, because he would have had a bit of space. Maybe not enough to escape 52 on the contain.
But no, not a single yard gained on that play. We can hear the UWE defense saying that they're going to take a shot here, and Candido fires it out to 18. He's going to find it, but taken out of bounds.
Yeah, but probably enough for a first down there. Done a really, really good job. The UWE defenders just hanging off their men quite a lot here. Looking like they're playing like a bit of a zone scheme. As you see, number 18 just had tons and tons of space here, not only to make the catch, but to turn it upfield as well. Even on a throw that was a little bit behind him. Very good catch, difficult one to make. Just does it, makes it look easy and gets that first down.
Once again, going for the head of
and that is patted down.
And he was looking for his running back there, but I mean, sort of going back to the size thing, I think that I may have been stood on an angle when I was looking at the Durham Saints.
It was at a funny angle.
So what a great reference. But I think it's weird, like standing over here they look a lot bigger, but I think that's definitely because contextually next to the UWE line is also massive. So Candido again taking some steps back,
looking to spin out of there. He's able to get out there. Is he able to throw it downfield? He's going to try, just throws it out of bounds. Nothing more he could do there. But he's doing a very, very good job of escaping this contain, getting his eyes back downfield. And to be honest, like again, if we watch Candido here, keeping his eyes there, sees the pressure come through. 54, whoa, thought about doing something illegal, decides he can't.
So 3rd and 10 now for Durham. And even on the sideline after that play, obviously the UWE players coming over to the Durham side of the field to try and make that tackle. Some uncouth language shared between the two sides.
I didn't hear anything as he goes to the air. He's looking for a screen. It is available. Managed to get a good block. Stop there about the 45. That'll be short by about 5 yards.
But I mean, Pagan catching that with the speed that he has, trying to get to the edge was impressive, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. And now the Durham Saints are going to have to make a big decision, but it doesn't look like there's going to be any personnel change.
Yeah, I really like that play. It almost looked like it was going to be a screen to nobody, like just based off of how the running back comes across the field to catch that one. But yeah, Durham going for it. Durham saying, hey, we'll play your game. We'll go for it on 4th down. As we see the motion from number 7. No motion, trying to get UWE to jump offside. They've already done it a few times. Looking to the side, maybe something you know, that old, it never works. It never works. Ah, just kidding. Here we go. We go back. We're going for it. UWE have jumped. Are they going to jump again? No, we see a false start there from Durham.
And I mean, you've got to try it. I mean, you're never gonna be disappointed
Full
if
start.
it works. You're gonna be
Multiple
punting
players
it
of
anyway.
the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 4th down.
I love this team commitment both sides have of, you know, if one of us is committing a penalty, we're all committing a penalty. Yeah, 54, way off there. Running back, way off as well. A lot of people, you know, I would have been with the rest of the line going, there ain't no way we're snapping this.
So first punt of the day for the Durham Saints.
Yeah, and the air's getting a bit misty here. Rain coming down a little bit. And this weather's almost worse than when it's absolutely tipping it down. Everything's just a bit slick, you know. That ball, the snap was quite difficult. That's a good punt, good height to it. UWE won't be able to return this, and it is going to take a Durham bounce to about the 20-yard line. It's almost like there's a dead spot in the field, because that's where UWE's punt went to earlier.
And Chance Bucks recovering that ball. Still, I'm waiting to be able to break out the old pun book there, but but nothing on that. But now UWE still a point down. And I will say, I think this mist is now becoming a little bit heavier. I mean,
yeah, this is going to be a very difficult game now for both sides. The floor is going to be a bit slippy. Your hands are going to be slippy. The ball's going to be slippy.
And I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we see just a flood of gloves now littering the floor.
Yeah, it was. We'll be lucky if we can see anything if this keeps up. As UWE go to the ground, looking to find some space. He does. He bounces it back up the middle. Enough for a first down. Does a really good job there. Nice patient run in, and this is going to be the MO for UWE, especially now the weather's changed. Durham did a really good job here, sealing the edge to stop him from going to the outside. 33 coming across, but hey, guess what? You've just given me a space up the middle. Plants his foot, cuts upfield, really explosive, makes that first down.
And Rory Humphreys, under-19s GB player, has been one of the key defensive players for the Saints today as he makes yet another tackle.
UWE on the ground again, finding space again, breaks one tackle, looks to get to the outside, stumbling a little bit, gets away from that. Durham just going for the ball rather than going for tackles, giving up more yards than they need to. As the players look around and go, yeah, that's exactly what happened there. They did do that.
And Durham,
they did. People say you're by, but you called that exactly as you saw it. That's good fun. As UWE go to the ground here, we see the replay.
I mean, UWE in just 2 plays, they've managed to get it into Durham territory. I mean, being very...
Really good, really shifty. On the ground again. Trips this time.
I mean, UWE have been going very, very quickly. And I mean, it's been working for them so far, but there's going to be a gain on the play of, let's say, 3.
Yeah, as we see the replay here. Just gets up there. Good tackle there from number 48. And UWE just holding on to the ball. This really comes down to fundamentals now. As Durham probably getting told, hey, go for the tackle, don't go for the ball. Let the secondary player go for the ball. 2nd and 7.
Moving it back across there. Gretzinger's still got it. Great block there from the running back of UWE. Gretzinger to take himself, and he's going to have a slide. But Gretzinger's not going to have much on that. In fact, I think he's going to lose.
He is. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Does a really good job. Good block there, good fake all around. Number 3 doing a really good job of just chasing down, keeping that contained, and obviously the defensive backs for Durham must have done a fantastic job because Gretzinger did not like what he saw.
So 3rd and 10 for the Bullets. I mean, they've been relying on the run so far today, but Gretzinger is going to drop back. He is going to be pursued. He's going to take up, and that's going to be huge, huge for the Durham Saints. It looked like there certainly was some space there. I mean, it was quite a strange interaction, if I'm completely honest. It looks like there was some space, but Gretzinger now 2 tackles for losses on the play, and the punting unit once again comes on the field for the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, very difficult to see. Like, they obviously send the blitz here. A bit of miscommunication there from the tackle and the guards, and just really under duress immediately, unable to get anything going. They just overloaded. Durham just overloaded there, sent more men than UWE had to block, and Gretzinger had to take the sack. That's 2 negative plays there in a row as UWE look to punt. Lots of bodies there, nearly a pick, low punt. It is going to bounce, it's going to take a UWE bounce here, and it's just going to keep going, just little by little. They're all going to surround the ball, and that'll be down around, it's hard to tell from here, about the 15-yard line. But yeah, very good defensive effort there on that final set of downs.
I mean, it does really feel that it's a bit of a rare situation. I say even in that Knox game, given how close it was, that the Bullets have got their back up against the wall a little bit, and it's a place that the Bullets, I would say rarely have seen over the last few years.
Yeah, they're, like we've said many a times, they're used to just kind of doing what they want, and they're unable to do that today. Obviously on the ground, they've been able to make a lot more happen, but all it takes is one negative play for them to be in a struggling position and giving Durham the ball back like they have here.
I mean, Durham currently with 1 turnover on the day. Candido looking to send it, but he's going to just fire it into the sideline.
Yeah, he did absolutely send that one as well. The pass plays are going to be a lot more difficult though as this game goes on. I understand the need to keep going for it, but it's going to be tough. Seamless.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Durham Saints. I mean, I'd say that the conditions are definitely going to be affecting, well, through traditional football logic should be...
He's got some space.
I mean, should be affecting the Durham Saints more through the air, but I say that as the heavier rain turns back into mist.
Yeah, like this has been a very, very, very quick first half, and it's because both are going to the ground, partly because of this weather. Really good job here from Durham, really sealing up the running, sealing up the UWE defenders, giving lanes to the running back. Makes it about 3rd and 2 here. As Durham getting some last minute instructions from the sideline about what play they're going to be running here, probably based off of the defense that UWE have come out with. We're seeing the corners coming out into a bit more press here. Giving it up, he has got some space deep. He's looking deep for number 13, very close.
I mean, just getting one hand on that ball, but as we've said from the jump today, that the number 10 Candido can absolutely fire these balls in.
Yeah, and he put that where only his receiver could get it. Unfortunately, his receiver couldn't get it there either. As that brings up 4th and 2. And just trying to see if we've got the punting unit out. We do. So UWE probably going to be running quite a quick drill here. We haven't had notification of the 2-minute warning, so they'll have a bit of time to play with. But let's see what happens with this punt. Nice snap, good punt, good air, good spin on that ball. Probably not getting returned. It is caught, and just finding some space to the outside. Good tackle in there.
There's another good kick by Daniel Crane of the Durham Saints. The Bullets are not going to be able to get it past the halfway point of the field, but it is damn close.
Yeah, semi-decent return there, just getting some yards back. 54 yards for UWE to get to the end zone in probably about 3 minutes of play time to go. Obviously, we've got the clock up there, that's unofficial. The referees will let us know when there's 2 minutes left, but we are getting closer and closer to the end of this first half.
Oh, and almost a pick there by Gretzinger.
Yeah, ball, very errant throw there from Gretzinger, bringing up 2nd and 10 here, just behind everybody. Only the cornerback really there. As we see, very close, very, very close.
But both teams have all of their timeouts as well. Definitely something to consider as this half is probably going to be drawing to a close. Obviously, once again, we have not had a 2-minute warning.
Yeah, and this is a very important drive for UWE. They get the ball back to start the second half. If they can get points on the board here, that'll be a big momentum shift as we see a big gain there for about 6-7 yards.
I will say it did almost seem as though Gretzinger was caught off guard by the velocity of the snap, or he could have just been selling it very, very well. I think, to be fair, if I know Gretzinger, he was probably just selling it very, very well.
We love a bit of mischief out here. As you see, about 3rd and 4 here for UWE. You have to imagine any gain of yards without getting a first down will lead to going for it on 4th, but we will see a timeout called first.
Referee's timeout, that is a 2-minute warning at 2 minutes.
So ref's timeout, 2 minutes remaining. Both teams, as I've just said, almost being able to predict these things, have got all 3 of their timeouts. Bullets have it in good field position, and I mean, with those timeouts, that, you know, points very well could be on the table here, but it begs the question, are the UWE Bullets, do they settle for a field goal?
No, they don't. They don't. That's not their MO. You know, it's 3rd down. First and foremost, they're looking to get a first down here as you see 3rd and 4. Lots of space on the ground here. Great running. And just great drive there from the offensive line from UWE. The running back didn't have to do anything until about 6-7 yards downfield. That'll be first down. And I can see UWE looking to hold on to these timeouts until they give Durham the ball back.
I mean, you can definitely see the speed of the UWE offense setting up here. The Gretzinger's got, it's going to be another handoff to the right-hand side, behind some big blockers. But I mean, what an athletic tackle that was by Durham.
Yeah, really good job.
Swinging round a man, but it is still going to be a gain on the play for the UWE Bullets, but I'd say only 2.
Yeah, and you know, look, it was a bit more, bounced back, lost a few yards. And that says a lot about the confidence of these UWE skill players, is they're always looking to make more happen. Durham did a really, really good job there of just containing blocking up the run lanes, bouncing him to the outside, and just containing everything, leading to just a minimal gain there for UWE as they go to the ground one more time. Looking to cut field, lots of space, looking to bounce it back, but is tackled in the middle of the field.
And we do have a flag, which I think may be on the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, is in the vicinity of holding.
Well, pretty sure it's one of the Durham players was asking for a holding penalty, and it looks like he may get it.
Holding. Offense number 59. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 2nd down.
They're definitely going to make this scoring opportunity slightly more difficult for UWE.
Yeah, UWE, you know, now there's a 12th defender for Durham, right? The clock. And how are UWE going to handle that? They rely on big plays and chunk plays. Yeah, they can grind it down, but the way Durham have played meant that they've not had many of these opportunities. Lots of noise here on the Durham sideline, really trying to put UWE off. UWE looking confused, a bit, you know, going to see a timeout here. Yeah, players, miscommunication there and arguing from the players as well. Not something we like to see from a UWE standpoint, something Durham are loving to see.
Called by UWE. 37 seconds.
And it
that
seems
is their first time out of the half.
The UWE Bullets, who were, you know, I'd say unflusterable, or at least seemed that way, maybe, you know, may have slight bee in their bonnet, the fact that they are just a single point down to the Durham Saints.
Yeah, and you know, some of it comes down as well. It's just they've just not had much time on the field. This is what, their 4th drive? Their 4th drive, and they've only had points from one of them. That's not what UWE are used to, and frustrations will arise because of it.
I mean, this Durham Saints sideline is very, very loud. Gretzinger's going to try and take it himself. He gets around some defenders. He runs into a sea of white jerseys. He's going to have a good pickup, but it's not going to be enough for a first down.
No, he gets it to about 3rd and 11 here. Which again, based off of how long's left on the clock, I imagine we will see UWE going for it on 4th down regardless. Just
timeout.
Just dropping his
Called
head.
by UWE at 28
like
seconds.
He's not the quarterback.
That is their 2nd time out of the half.
You know, knowing, you know, as we get close to the half year and thinking about, like, you know, the coaching staff of UWE, on defense, they're going to be fairly happy. They've given up one big play. You know, Durham, yes, they were able to make some drives, but they were able to snuff that out quickly. One big play has been what's there on defense, but on offense, you know, it's just going to be keep it calm. We know what we're about. We know what we can do. And knowing Coach Mayer as well, he's just going to want the players to get back to their fundamentals. There's not going to be much time to play this game. And they're going to have to make every single snap count if they want to come away with a win.
So 3rd and 11 here for the Bullets. Gretzinger looks like he's going to fire it, but just takes it down, and a penalty marker comes in late.
Yeah, I think I might still be holding. Oh no, we're seeing some points here from UWE. I mean, you should never trust what the players are doing. They're never going to say it's on them.
Exactly.
That's on me. That's a rookie mistake. Personal foul.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 57. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
And I mean, what a lifeline here for the UWE Bullets' chance of getting some points before the half. Hands to the face, 15 yards and a free first down.
Yeah, he's just got his hand up there.
At UWE's option, the game clock will start on the snap.
And quite a great camera shot there of the yellow flying in late. Love to see that. And UWE, great field position here. Not many seconds left on the clock, but the clock's only going from this start of this snap. Looking deep, he's got a man in the middle, can't connect, bit too high. The clock will stop.
And I mean, at least that's the saving grace here, that the clock will stop here for the Bullets. But I mean, I just love the energy here from the Durham sideline. They are making it loud. I'm unsure if it will be able to get to a quarterback with the experience of Ethan Gretzinger, but I mean, it's throwing me off. It's throwing me off commentating, to be completely honest.
No, it's nice to see, you know, like commentating on these games for a few years now, you see the teams get quite hyped up when they start playing well, and it's just whether they can keep up that energy when things start to get a bit lackluster. But unfortunately for UWE, unfortunately for Durham are playing phenomenally well and keeping that energy up on and off the field. Going to the air one more time as Gretzinger looks to the back corner of the end zone. Great defensive play there.
And I mean, he was looking for Wimmer, and there was certainly some space, but just flying in, heavenly flying in it from the Saints to be able to knock that ball away.
Yeah, the ball just kind of catches up a little bit. You see the defender's able to get there, gets the tap, would have been nearly still. Great concentration there to nearly come down with that ball, but that was a phenomenal play.
I mean, you've got to give a shout out there to Nathaniel Castro being able to knock that ball away.
Nathaniel Castro, probably my favorite Castro, if we're honest, especially with defensive back play like that. That was phenomenal.
So 3rd and 10 here for the UWE Bullets.
And it'll be interesting, UWE do have a kicker on the roster now as they look deep one more time. They're only looking to the end zone. He has a man, and it's there for the touchdown. UWE scoring at what must be one of the final plays of the half. The worst time possible for Durham to give up a touchdown, and it has absolutely shattered this sideline.
And I mean, it was only just a few seconds away from the Durham Saints being able to march into the locker room for halftime, being up on the UWE Bullets. But an absolute heave there from Gretzinger. A perfect throw has the Bullets now in front.
Yeah, and it's always been there, you know, the connection between these skill players and Gretzinger is always there, straight down the middle, does a great job to get past the defenders, wide open in the back of the end zone. And I tell you what, the last few plays, UWE have basically said, this is all we want to go for. We're not interested in running it or out routes or anything like that. I am heaving this ball.
So they're going to be taking a timeout here to sort of evaluate this two-point conversion.
Timeout. Ball by UWE at 6 seconds.
So 6 seconds on the clock.
That is their final timeout of the half.
Honk, honk. So I see that sign, I always think just a kid trying to get trucks to get the horns going.
But I mean, given that the Durham Saints are or kick their extra point at 7, they do need this extra point to give themselves a big, not a big cushion, but a cushion if the Durham Saints manage to get points on the board again.
Yeah, I mean, well, it comes down to this. If they don't make this, Durham just have to score the touchdown. They don't need the extra point, right? So like this is key. This is key for UWE to score here. It'll be interesting to see what plays they go with. In past years, we've seen them just bring out a heavy set and just go straight forward. Little bit more pizzazz to what they go with as they go to the air. Gretzinger completely surrounded, sacked, nowhere to go. And that is 0 for 2 on these 2-point conversions.
I mean, it is a surprise. I mean, it seems to me that could be the part of this UWE team that is lacking. I mean, it's strange to even put the word lacking and UWE Bullets in the same sentence, but I mean, 0 for 2 here. But I think one thing that the UWE Bullets are probably well aware of, they're getting this ball back after half time. Now, even though they're about to kick off here, we have got 6 seconds left. Chance Sparks, number 8 of the Durham Saints, has got 2 kickoff return touchdowns on the year. Just something to consider. There could be a commentator's curse on that, but I just thought it'd be an interesting tidbit for everyone at home.
Well, this is the thing about commentator's curse. If you say absolutely everything that could possibly happen, it will, you know, and that is interesting though, especially as they went with a fair catch on the previous kick, knowing that they've got that back there. We are seeing a timeout, I believe.
Timeout called by Durham.
Timeout called by Durham at 6 seconds.
I tell you what, this last 40 seconds has lasted longer than the whole first quarter.
So I'd imagine Durham are definitely cooking something up here. I mean, when you've got a return man who has got multiple kickoff return touchdowns, I mean, only playing 2 games so far, it is something to consider.
Well, there's 2 things that you need to worry about here, right? Not only do you need to worry about this kick return touchdown, which is well within the capability of this special teams unit of Durham, but also they've given up a big touchdown already today. And they're aware of the capabilities of Durham, so just kicking it along the floor, allowing the return, but also allowing some clock to go. But there is some space to the outside if he can find it. Looks to break, nearly does. Ball on the floor, probably down, but recovers anyway for good measure as we see the flag for the late hit.
I mean, this will be an interesting one if the Durham Saints maybe want to go for it.
Well, either there's 6 seconds that have gone and this is a free play, or they get the yards and they've got a play and a timeout, right? So either way, we're going to see Durham come onto the field for a play, and they're just probably going to just heave it because they've proven that they're more than capable of doing that.
During the kick, time expired. That is the end of the half. After the play was over, there is a personal foul on UWE, number 15. That 15 yards were being forced on the second half kickoff.
Okay, so it's going to go straight into the second half. So, you know, UWE will be starting with the ball in the second half, and this is, I mean, you know, this has been a fantastic first half of football, but this game comes down to that first drive.
I mean, when it comes down to it, this game was going to be competitive. This game was looking even. Don't get me wrong, I am impressed with Durham, but they've got to be, I mean, the momentum's definitely now on the side of the UWE Bullets, and I could imagine the Durham Saints are feeling a little bit hard done by that they've managed to put some points on the board right before the half, and then the Bullets are getting the ball back. It really seemed like the Bullets have managed to get themselves into a fantastic position to really put the points up on Durham and give them a hard task when it comes to late in the third or the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see, you know, the replays here, yes, this is the same game. Despite how dark it is now, that did happen half an hour ago, as we start to see some of the plays that were there in the first half. And yeah, you know, today's game has been fantastic. It's gone incredibly quickly because of the way we play. As we see Durham's touchdown here, just launching it down the middle. 2 touchdowns today, same place of the end zone for both teams. Yeah, you know, this has been a spectacle of British American football, and we're happy to be able to show it to you for free on YouTube, but also just being able to see the competitive nature of both these teams. Both teams have aspirations of winning the national championship this year, and both teams showing that they're more than capable of doing it.
I mean, I can guarantee you that, you know, for free on YouTube, there's a couple of Nottingham Gold players definitely watching this. The Durham Saints and the Nottingham Gold yet to face off, and that game is going to be an absolute barn burner when it comes to fruition.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, the National Premiership is an incredible place to play American football. Lots of opportunities for all the players and for us to get to watch this. But as we go to the half, UWE 2 touchdowns, no extra points. Durham with that early score, the halftime score, 12-7. And what are you hoping to see in the second half, Chris?
Less flags, simple as. The flags have killed the momentum of both of these sides, and the dynamic players managed to get them out of these penalty yardage situations. But I imagine this game would be maybe a bit more high scoring if the penalties weren't so frequent.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And I tell you what I'd like to see everybody return, because we've got another half of fantastic football coming up. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, a snack, whatever you need to do. We're going to take a break here, but we will see you very, very shortly. All right, and we are back. Welcome everybody to the second half of BUCS National Premier League American football between the UWE Bullets and the Durham Saints. Durham kicking the ball back to UWE, going with the onside, and they recover! Surprise onside by Durham, and they recover. They will start the second half with the ball.
And I mean, that late touchdown in the first half. That momentum that the Bullets managed to get completely wiped off the board with an onside recovery by the Saints.
Yes, we see it here again. They go for it, cut it across, really fine. Oh my God, that's so fine. I mean, that's just 10, if anything. You know, we'll go with what the refs called. I think it's very difficult to see from this angle. They would have had a better choice, but Durham executed that to perfection, and they're going to be starting with the ball. And this is what an incredible momentum changer as they go to the air. Incomplete on the first, but wow.
I mean, very close to a second interception of the day for Candido. And I mean, after a start like that, it would be absolutely heartbreaking to turn the ball over that quickly. But alas, it's not to be. 2nd and 10 for the Saints.
Yeah, that was, I mean, what a start to this second half. Things loud on this Durham sideline, things quiet on the UWE sideline. This second half's just started, and I feel like momentum shifts and highs and lows have already been decided as they go to the air again, looking to heave it, just puts it up. UWE looking for the flag there. Player on the ground, looks like he was dragged down. Just trying to get some cooler heads there. Unhappy with what happened, and yeah, there it is. There's the flag for UWE for complaining.
And I mean, the cooler heads did not prevail in that particular situation. We saw that the referees were walking off, and just one extra comment was just too far. And this is going to be a nice set of, or a nice fresh set of downs here for the Durham Saints.
Yeah, and UWE had the number. UWE had Durham's number. They made this big decision to start the half. How much would the Durham heads have dropped if they made this big decision and got nothing out of it? UWE, by not being able to keep cool heads, have allowed Durham to ride this momentum, and they're in 4-down territory. We've seen their kicker is capable of kicking if needs be, but we've also seen them go for 4. As we see this again, obviously, you know, we get the benefit of instant replay, clearly dragged down by the Durham offensive player there. Clear as day, but it's unfortunate that his reactions led to the penalty as Durham going to the air one more time, looking to the back corner of the end zone. His man's there, and that is a touchdown!
Absolutely sensational again from Candido. No flags on the play, and I mean, that onside kick is going to go down in Durham Saints history.
Yeah, an absolute cannon-dido from there to get the touchdown in the back corner of the end zone. And really, this was almost inevitable with how UWE approached the first few plays. They went straight back to the player that was frustrated. And look, just got absolutely beat downfield. Great touchdown. And Durham are in the lead, regardless of this extra point, which they put through.
And I mean, those those 2 extra points, 2-point conversions. Those 2-point conversions, both of them, the UWE Bullets have not managed to convert, is going to come back to shoot them in the foot.
Yeah, they're really going to have to get their heads together here, really switch on and play football correctly, go back to fundamentals. Not only should you have had the ball back, but gave up, you know, we'll say a questionable recovery, not getting there before 10 yards. And then, yeah, you didn't get the flag. You didn't get the flag, but then you gave up yards. The flag then became on you, and then you got frustrated and you gave up a touchdown. Durham, all Durham really need to do here is play the mental games.
And Daniel Crane, the receiver for Durham, who manages to bring that one in.
Yeah, it's a great throw, great play.
But I mean, as starts to a second half can go, I mean, the UWE Bullets have had a disaster so far.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the last play of the first half, allowing Durham 15 extra yards that probably made the decision to go for that onside to start. You know, we're used to seeing that we're back to where the kickoff should be, but obviously there's 15 yards, allowing it to start at the 50. And they're just going, yeah, nice short kick, not risking everything. They're ahead. They're ahead, they're in UWE's heads. Kick it short, let the defense do the work.
So once again, the Bullets find themselves with their back up against the wall. Momentum very much on the side of the Durham Saints.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, with a big play like that, it is easy to get in your own head. It's easy to celebrate, and things can snowball. Things can absolutely snowball from here. It's up to this UWE offense to steady the boat, to steady the ship, to drive downfield. We're going to hear a lot of hype from this Durham sideline because they are buzzing to return. UWE going to the ground, got some space. If he can get past this man, he cannot.
And a flag does come in from the referee on our sideline.
Yeah, number 57 looking like, oh, did I do something wrong? I mean, you did punch someone in the back of the head in the first half, but like on that play, did I do something wrong? I don't think so. They're just figuring it out. UWE going back, so maybe it was a holding call. As we will hear for Ollie for the first time in this half. And Durham going back as well. Everybody back it off.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense, number 57. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
So 57's given up 45 yards all by himself in this game. He's going to have to keep it under control. Keep those hands down. Second hands to the face. Third personal foul. Third personal foul on one player as we start this UWE drive.
I mean, not the stat line you'd like to see, but the UWE Bullets are now going to be taking it just 1 yard shy in their own half. Can they get something going?
And as we see the fake, Ethan keeping it himself, going up the middle, just driving those legs, nearly loses the ball, doesn't, and makes enough for a first down.
Not by much, but I mean, we've seen some attempts by Gretzinger today to run the ball, and it's not gone smoothly. Getting a first down, I mean, just good to see that momentum building in the head of Gretzinger.
Yeah, and Durham done a really, really good job of shutting down those inside lanes, and that's what's led to Gretzinger being under pressure early, not being able to use his feet as much as he would like, but able to see the space that time and setting up a new set of downs.
I mean, that box is heavily stacked by Durham. There's going to be some gain, it looks like 2, but when you consider the amount of yardage that the Bullets have got on the ground so far today, could almost be, it's not quite a loss, but I mean, for UWE, they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see here in the replay, UWE gets such a good drive. Yes, the running back barely makes any yards past his lineman, but they drive downfield. You know, they drive downfield. It looks like he's been given a couple of yards, which I feel is quite generous. But re-looking at the spot, re-looking where the ball is now, probably was a couple of yards.
Second and 8, handoff again. Definitely a bit more space this time, just bowling over people.
Yeah.
Is that going to be enough for a first down, Bullets? It certainly is.
Yeah, Durham players tripping over each other. We do have a player down. Looks to be quite hurt. Didn't move for a while. Maybe a head injury. We hope not. We hope he's able to move. But yeah, we'll see how things go. But that will be a new set of downs for UWE. And that's the thing, when you send a lot of bodies towards the ball, you stack the box, you're just putting more obstacles in the way, and it can lead to things like this. So fingers crossed everything is okay there. But like we said to start this drive, this UWE offense really needed to steady the ship, and so far that's what they've managed to do.
And I mean, just even Gretzinger's demeanour coming off of the field for half time. Again, normally it's where the Gretzinger, cool and calm and collected, didn't seem as cool, calm and collected as I've seen him play for both the Aztecs and the Bullets. But I mean, I think it's then again, this is sort of the first time where it's been back up against the wall. Bullets need a win here because of that loss. Because I mean, a world with a 2-loss national premiership UWE Bullets is a world that no one has experienced before.
No, and it also, these losses dictate how things are going to go in the playoffs. Even with 2 losses, you'd expect UWE to still be there, but they'll be on the road, and they're not used to doing that. They're used to making Hillside Gardens a fortress, as the Durham player is able to get up on his own.
Especially being the only, southern team in the national premiership, it's not a... you can't luck out like, say, in the Premiership last year with Cardiff and having to go to Birmingham to play their games. It's not a massive trip for an away team. All of the trips for the Bullets, pretty sizable journeys.
Yeah, exactly. They are representing the South. They're representing Bristol football. Bristol football, very strong place for American football at the moment, with the national champion Aztecs, with the quarterback of them, Ethan Gretzinger, lining up, throwing the ball deep. has a man. His man coming back. His man absolutely manhandled.
I mean, I've never seen a more blatant PI in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, the second most blatant one I've seen today, but it is called.
Pass
And
interference.
we will hear
Defense,
from
number
Ollie.
33. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
I don't know,
Automatic,
maybe,
first down.
maybe Quinton had his arms outstretched and he thought maybe he just wanted a quick hug. But I mean, that was, yeah, just Wimmer brought right down to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's trying to make his way back, and he just goes, hey, it's either a touchdown or 15 yards. You give up the 15 yards.
Yeah,
you
that's a
give up
very
the
good
15
point.
yards.
The Bullets encroaching once again.
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm very impressed with how UWE have approached this from an offensive standpoint. Not many plays, but they have been consistent in driving this ball downfield. Yeah, penalty there to help them out. 2 penalties have helped them out on this drive. But they've kept their heads, and they've been making yards outside of those penalties as well. So the ball's gone, the ball's live, the ball's on the floor. Ethan does recover.
And I mean, an absolutely heroic play there from Gretzinger. I mean, it looked like it was going, the momentum shifting back to the colour red, but and a high snap, but Gretzinger does manage to dive onto it.
Yeah, and that is a big old loss. I mean, that is honestly basically every single yard they just got from that pass interference in the end zone call. Great job getting back on the ball, but
I mean, it's something that I mentioned earlier in the game that I was just thinking there was maybe Gretzinger sort of selling the run a bit, but it looks like there is some power in these snaps, and a flag comes in.
Yeah, we're seeing Durham cheering. I'm guessing there must have been some some words being said.
Illegal substitution. Too many in the offensive huddle. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And Durham loving UWE getting in their own heads, and this celebration from Durham is going to get in UWE's heads even more. UWE really, if UWE want to turn things around, they're going to have to just settle themselves, stop giving up penalties. You know, the first week of the season, barely any penalties on UWE. It was nice to see. It was a complete change of pace, and they were able to just dictate the game from there. But today, just flag after flag, really letting them down.
And I mean, considering that the end of the down marker is at the 2-yard line, they need a lot here. Throwing it to the outside, there is some space, but Durham managed to drag them down here. I feel like a stat that isn't spoken about much in British University American football, that one that is, you know, very, very powerful is rattling. How rattling can you be to your opponent? And it seems that the Durham Saints have got that particular attribute on lock.
Oh, they are loving life right now. And listen, I don't blame them. This is who I was as a player. What's the most annoying thing I can do? And they, you know, and they're nailing it. They're drilling it. And why shouldn't they? They're having a great time out there. They're currently winning this game away from home. Durham to Bristol isn't an easy trip. As UWE go into the air one more time, Ethan looking to pass the ball out. He does on the second time. Able to get downfield, so we'll be looking at about 3rd and 15 here. There is a flag on the play though, so we'll see what this is about.
I mean, just this is world-class rattling here from the Durham Saints.
Oh, I'm all for it.
There was no foul on the play for an eligible receiver downfield.
I do wonder if the Durham Saints, I think it's a juice captain is what they're normally referred to, as someone who's in charge of making sure everyone is loud. And I tell you what, I can't imagine that he is getting paid, but he's earning his wages if he is.
But I tell you what, someone else has got to be paying for his smelling salts to get everything started, because the amount of hype they've got going on is incredible.
And I was speaking to some of the Durham Saints, like even before this game started, and they've had a long journey to get here. So to be able to have this energy after leaving very early in the morning is fantastic. Gretzinger drops back, and he has got some time and just heaves it into the middle.
And he's got a second chance. That is going to be an interception in the end zone. And surprisingly, Durham sideline not cheering as much.
very strange, because considering how cinematic that interception was, they're very quiet. I mean, do they want to come over and look at this particular replay?
In the end zone, resulting in a touchback. First down, Durham.
Yeah, and to be honest, that was just a frustration play from Ethan.
But I mean, good tackle there from Quinton to be able to wrap him up nice and quickly. But oh, and they've got the turnover chain. Here we go.
What I like about the lack of hype there is it's almost like, you know, in Talladega Nights where he's like, I don't know what to do in my hands. It's like they were like, we wanted you to do this, but now it's happened. We don't know how to deal with it. But here they are on offense with a lead.
And Rory Humphreys, who has been fantastic on the defense for the Saints today, is going to be wearing that turnover chain that the Durham Saints have brought with them.
Well, I hope he takes it off before he goes back on the field. As Durham looking to go to the air, it's been there. He's got a man outside, but just too much on that one. He was open and he had a lot of space to run, but unfortunately just couldn't connect.
So 2nd and 10 here for Durham. I mean, it has been an absolute flip-flop of momentum, and these are the games that you love to see.
Yeah, you know, this is a showcase of British American football. All these games are showcases of British American football. And both teams just trading blow for blow here today, with Durham currently leading on the score sheet.
Candido's going to be moving around that pocket a lot. He's going to fall forward. I mean, it did look as though that ball was potentially becoming slightly loose, but he manages to dive forward. He's going to have a gain of 1.5 there.
Yeah, there's a bit confusion. He's ran to the sideline. They need their backup quarterback in. He definitely hurt himself on that play. Whether it was on the dive forward or whatever, but he just looked like he was hobbling a little bit. Did hear a bit of a crack. Don't know what that was, but they do have backup number 4 in, as we see a replay here. Bounces to the outside, and just as he comes out here, he drops forward, gets kicked a little bit.
I mean, just being blasted out of bounds there. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, we'll just see what the yardage is here and whether they want to go for it. It's going to be 4th and we got good yardage there. 4th and 2. We are seeing a change of personnel, so probably a punt, but
I mean, we're just looking at Candido now. He just looks holding his ribs slightly there, so we're just going to see if he does continue. Doesn't look too shaken up.
yeah, he got himself out of there very quickly. And I tell you what, this Durham team probably don't mind their defense being out on the field. That is nearly a block. Probably the worst punt we've seen from Durham today, but it does take a Durham bounce. Going to be stopped at about UWE 44, and that is where UWE will start this drive.
And Daniel Crane, who has recorded a touchdown today, is kicking it away. And Durham, or UWE going to start in their own half, but only by, going to say 6
yards. Yeah, I did just say from the 40.
Oh, sorry. sorry. I was looking at the Durham roster because they haven't got number 4. So I'm like, oh, if he's going to be in, I should probably find out who he is.
Well, he's a defensive back.
He is a defensive back,
and he's their backup quarterback. So it's very interesting. But it just shows the level of athleticism these players have as they go to the UWE go to the ground. Lots of space in the middle. Tons of space actually. Still on his feet. Good tackle from number 23. But just like that, UWE have taken it to the Durham 21-yard line.
I mean, how many times have UWE been down and found themselves?
And we see a flag, and it's in the vicinity of UWE players. That will be 15 yards against UWE.
Look, so you can sort of tell who it's against when it's these unsportsmanlikes, when they do the classic throw both arms up in the air. What did I do? Sort of motion there.
Yeah, and it's things they can control. It's talking. Like we're seeing the coach come on, special teams coordinator, Coach Anthony Thursman, just coming to calm down the player, try and get him off. Number 68 there. Referee speaking with Coach Dan Mayer, probably just to explain what's happened, what's going to occur from this.
See Jadrian Clark ushering number 68 into the sideline here, but and it looks like, I mean, we can see number 68. He's walking towards.
Yeah, it might be an ejection.
It could be an ejection here.
After the play was over, there is a flagrant unsportsmanlike act against number 68 for UWE, who contacted an official. That is a 15-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. Number 68 is disqualified from the remainder of the game.
So we do have an ejection in this game, and it is going to be on the Bullets for touching an official. Or, I mean, once again, as much as it's, you know, not I'm trying to think if it is too much of a simile here, the Bullets shooting themselves in the foot, but that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, we can't see what's here. There wasn't too much after. It's really hard to tell. Obviously, like, you know, we can't see, so we can't say. We just have to trust the officials here that what was done was aggressive, on purpose. I mean, we've seen that the refs are willing to let some things slide, but you can't touch a ref. Like, it's as easy as that. You can punch someone in the back of the head, but you can't touch a ref.
So, 1st and 20 now for the Bullets. That penalty yardage once again stacking up on them. But I mean, another great run play is going to make up for a fair chunk of it.
Yeah, UWE bringing it down nearly to a first down immediately after that. But just a bit of melancholy in the air here after that play.
I mean, it certainly does feel that way. I mean, we stood here on the Durham Saints sideline. There is a lot of energy, but I mean, that UWE Bullets sideline does not look. I mean, if it had a pulse, it looked like it'd be almost flatlining right now.
Yeah, as UWE go into the air, Ethan looking to run, but just being dragged down. Grabbed by the back of the jersey, not letting go. Number 57, making up for the 3 unsportsmanlikes with a sack. Bringing up 3rd down.
I mean, that last play did go for a first down, so it is going to be second.
Oh, it's second. Sorry, my bad.
So it is going to be 2nd and 11. So, you know, even
I'm sorry. Listen, good player, clearly. Grabbed the smaller man, jumped on his shoulders like it was nothing to take him down.
That's Harry Saddington to you, and it's going to be a handoff to number 11. There is going to be some
There
space.
he goes. That is going to be a first down for UWE, or at least close to it.
Yeah, that's going to be a first down for the Bullets. Once again, they are cooking, but it seems to be this sort of area of the field, not so much right at the goal line. This sort of 10, 15 yards out is where the Bullets, or I'd even argue the Durham Saints defense has been its best.
Yeah, the Durham Saints on the field, the Durham Saints off the field. This is where they really put the pressure on UWE, as UWE going to the ground once more, still on his feet, running.
And I mean, that is going to be very, very close to another first down. I don't think that the Bullets are going to... Nope, I'm talking absolute rubbish. It is going to be a first down. No, it's not. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. Get in.
You said both, so you had it either way.
Commentators curse. Say everything and one thing will happen.
But yeah, this UWE running back room doing a really, really good job. Just need to finish things off here. And as we start to hear the Durham sideline really start to pump up the noise here, trying to get in the heads of UWE. UWE going to the air. Ethan looking to the corner of the end zone. Has his man. That will be a touchdown for UWE.
And the Bullets retake the lead. And I mean, that was hard work to be able to get into the end zone for the Bullets there. Very, very, very much peaks and valleys for the Bullets, but they are going to retake the lead. And let's be honest, these 2-point conversions have not been successful today, but they are more critical than ever.
You know, there's a couple of ways to look at this. As UWE, just getting it is a positive at this point. You know, we're looking at a scoreline of 18-14. You bring this up to 20-14. You put more pressure on the kicker for that extra point. He's looked cool as a cucumber, but, you know, you have to go into this extra point, this 2-point conversion attempt, going, Durham, good chance of scoring again.
I mean, it's not moved over to Q4 yet. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I can imagine, I mean, Candido has got his helmet on, so it wouldn't surprise me if he is going to be the QB back in.
Yeah, it felt like a stinger, you know what I mean? The way he just ran off, it felt like he'd maybe winded himself a little bit. It is good to see him there going. As we see the flag, is it going to be on offense or defense? We'll
Prior to the flag, there is a timeout called by University of West England.
Oh, okay, so
that's at 3 minutes 14.
Must have known they were nearly out of time calling the timeout instead of taking the 5-yard penalty. But hey, this is a timeout they're not going to have in the 4th quarter.
I mean, when this game is as close as it is, those are going to be crucial. But I do understand taking it here. You do need to get this. You need to play an absolute banker of a play here.
Yeah, they need to make it. They need to make it count. You know, they've had some semi-successful plays. They've just not been able to cross the threshold of the end zone. So We'll see what happens here. It looks like Durham, a lot of players in the middle, really just trying to shut down that easy dive up the middle. Durham making a lot of noise on the sideline as well, making it harder for Ethan, as we are going to see a run. He does have some space there. It looks like he's going to get there, and that will be a successful 2-point, bringing this score to UWE 20, Durham 14.
I mean, it's just good for them to get one on the board, keeping it competitive, but I mean, Durham now know, I mean, they need a touchdown, and they've been very, very capable of getting it. I mean, it's absolute lock-in time for the defense of the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, and it starts here. You know, it starts with this kickoff. We've seen a variety of options taken by Durham, whether it's, you know, the surprise onside, similar to the Saints in the Super Bowl, whether it's, you know, going for a little pooch kick, just trying to keep it out of the playmaker's hands. UWE have just booted it deep. Other than the end of the first half, they have just booted it deep. You've said, you know, this is a very dangerous special teams unit. They've got the capability of returning for touchdowns. Can they, at the very minimum, set up their offense with good field position?
So flag already flying in there. That's going to be on the Bullets.
Yeah, it'd be offside as we see the reverse from Durham. He has got space. He's found his way to the outside. He's looking to get downfield. He's still on his feet. Still on his feet.
And Chance Sparks, I mean, absolutely electrifying. Yeah, get it. I finally got to use it, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, that will be for offside, so probably some extra yardage here for Durham. And this is what we said. This is what we just said. Can they, at the very minimum, set their offense up with good field position? And that is exactly what this Durham special teams unit have done.
Offside against the kicking team. We'll add 5 on to the return. First down.
So Durham getting that inside of UWE Bullets territory and tacking on some yards as well as the Durham Saints offense takes the field. The mist has started to return. Let's see if it makes any impact here on the Durham Saints' offense.
Yeah, really good run in there from number 8, from Chance Sparks. And just breaking tackles, making his way across the halfway line. Really solid return. Now it's on the offense to make this count.
So Pagani in at running back for them. He's going to block. Candido just fires it out to his right-hand side. And that's going to be at least 5 on the play, I'm going to say.
Incredible hair on that referee.
I would say you're jealous, but I mean, your head of hair's...
It's close. You know, part of that is jealousy. But as you know, I'm sick of being jealous of how athletic all the players on the field are. So I've changed it to the hair of the referee. As we see 2nd and 5 here for Durham.
But I mean, just nice and quick here for Durham.
And that was a great first play. 2nd and 5, easy to manage. Back to the air. Lots of space. He's going to be holding. And he just gets out of bounds.
And I do fear as though that may have actually hit someone on the head as well, but that is going to be a yellow marker down for the Saints.
Yeah, he was just under pressure immediately. And, you know, when you're dancing around back there, you're more likely to give up a holding call. That's the...
I mean, it's something that you said earlier is the change of direction. I mean, Candido's thinks he's going to have some space after being pursued.
Offense number 54, 10 yards from the previous spot. Still 2nd down.
Changes direction, and that makes the holding calls just so easy to see for the referees.
Yeah, because I mean, like as an offensive lineman, you're expecting moves, you're expecting bull rushes, you know. But as soon as you feel one move, it feels like they're still on you. They just turn their body, they change their direction. And we'll just see it here, 54. As yeah, we see Candido just dancing around, making some space.
I mean, Candido's ability to throw it away when he's under pressure is something that, you know, is very, very good, and just bouncing that off the floor. And you see the Bullet sideline there. They're trying to call for something. I mean, again, if you don't ask, you don't get. But I don't think it was there. And it's going to be a 3rd and 15 now for the Durham Saints. And after what was, you know, a very, very good first play of this drive for the Durham Saints, just managing to get a quick 5 yards, you know, showing you, hey, this is how easy it can be. To now be back at the 3rd and 15. that a bat?
Yes.
That is a bat. Not that people are interested, sorry. 3rd and 15 here for the Saints.
Yeah, this is a yardage they're more than capable of making. Empty backfield. They will be going to the air. Looking downfield. Has some space. Throws it straight out of bounds. Potentially grounding, but they're not going to be giving it.
But I mean, like, what a lifeline there. Again, this game, whilst has been, you know, fantastic to watch, between two of the best sides in British University American football, has been very much dictated by, you know, the little yellow pieces of fabric that the referees wear on their waistband.
Yeah, absolutely. That holding call really dictated the next two plays that Durham ran. Both of them unsuccessful when they could have just stuck to the ground. They could have stuck with the short passing game, but taken away from them from that holding mistake, as they will be punting the ball away. UWE looking close. Nice high punt. Great coverage here from Durham. UWE letting it bounce, and this is going to be a very, 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 very good play.
Absolutely sensational from number 2 of the Saints. He's put the Bullets in a very, very sticky situation. I would generally say that, you know, Daniel Crane has been fantastic today for the Durham Saints.
Yeah, their punting's been fantastic. The coverage has been fantastic as well. UWE really haven't had a chance to make anything happen. They've been nowhere near the ball for the most part when it lands, or if they have been, it's not been a wise decision to go for it because of how good this coverage has been. And UWE are going to be starting this from their own 1-yard line.
I mean, what's that famous drive from John Elway against the Browns? I'm not sure if it was called the drive, but I feel as though it is the drive. I feel as though this could be semi-reminiscent. I know we're only in the 3rd, but it's going to be a long, long way for the Bullets if they want to put some points on the board.
Yeah, as we see Durham getting a bit angsty there, trying to decide what they're doing. UWE just figuring it out, looking for the snap. I would expect a run at the very least to try and make some space here for Ethan. But they're really taking their time here with the snap, and it will be a run. Does bounce back through the middle, probably makes about a yard at most. Really the most unsuccessful running play UWE have had all day.
I mean, in a very, very dangerous situation as well. I mean, you'd be hoping to get at least 3 or 4 when you're that close to your end zone, especially, and again, this may be jinxing it, especially if it does happen. We have seen one errant snap here from the Bullets, and I mean, if that goes through, safety on the board, and I'm sure this, I can't imagine what the Durham Saints celebration for a safety would be, but I mean...
Yeah, I mean, like, look, it's on our minds. Hopefully it's not on the center, and it's hopefully not on the quarterback's minds. They just need to make sure this exchange goes well. Probably another run. Why wouldn't they go for a run here? As we see the dive up the middle, more yards that time, closer to a first down. Really out of the danger zone of a safety, but they still need to make a first down. Otherwise, they're going to be giving up really good field position, assuming they would punt on the 4th down. It is going to be 3rd and 2.
So the call comes in from OC Jadrian Clark. Rescue's going to run it back in, and, you know, it's getting very, very critical here. I mean, the Bullets, and they put some more points on the board. Suddenly it becomes not difficult for Durham, but Durham down 2 scores.
Yeah, it's the same. This is basically the drive that we thought the first drive of the second half was going to be for UWE. Very critical as Ethan keeps it, but there's no blocking on number 48. Comes straight through, doesn't even bother wrapping up. Body checks him. How do you like that, Ethan? Not a lot. And that will bring up 4th and long punting situation for UWE, giving up fantastic field position.
I mean, let's have another look at this. I mean, 48 going straight through there. Ethan never stood a chance there. He was just going straight through. Impressive from 48, and now a very, very difficult situation here for the defending national champions.
Yeah, and we've seen that kind of setup from this Durham defense a few times today. And UWE haven't picked it up either time. Obviously, big punt here. Very crucial. Takes his time, puts it in the air. Going to be at about the 40, gives plenty of time for 13 to return. He's still on his feet. He changes direction. He's got space. He's got a running lane. And he's going to be taken down. Not before getting within the 20-yard line of UWE. You know, and as this 3rd quarter winds to an end, our clock unofficial, but we are very close. Oh no!
That is the end of the 3rd quarter.
Well, as I say, egg on my face. This ball will be going to the other end with Durham less than 20 yards from potentially taking a lead in this game.
And I mean, this is going to be a critical fourth down. A fourth down for the absolute ages here. The Durham Saints have stacked themselves very, very well.
Fourth quarter.
What did I say?
Down.
Fourth quarter down.
Yeah, this is it, and you know it. They know it. They're on the side. They're on the sideline. This is where we win the game, and they're not wrong. This is such a critical drive for this offense.
And I mean, that return from Ricky Eng was just absolutely phenomenal, getting them in very, very crucial scoring position. But I mean, I'm just so happy that I get to be number one watching this game, but number two calling this game, because this fourth quarter could be explosive. This game, realistically, as close as expected coming into it. But the Durham Saints really, really need to put a score on the board here. And then, you know, if they get that extra point, 1 point game, when we know that the UWE Bullets losses, well, in the last 2 years have come by just a single point.
Yeah, they don't get blown out, the UWE Bullets, and that's the case here today. But more importantly, they just don't want to lose. As the offensive snap, looking to the back corner of the end zone, he has a man, he's gone down to his feet and knees, he's looking for the flag. Uncatchable ball, so no flag, so that'll be 2nd and 10.
Hands fly up on the Durham sideline, wanting something. But it's not to be. 2nd and 10 for the Durham Saints.
Yeah, and with the little bit of rain, fog we've got here and the lighting, making it quite difficult to see, but we will we'll do our best to let you know exactly what's going on as this 2nd down is about to go ahead.
So Candido gets out to his left-hand side. There is just a little bit of space there. Looks to me that he's going to be splitting the sticks on 2nd down. I think maybe going for either 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the quick passing game of Durham. Look at this, very quick pass. No one around. Easy 5 yards.
But an absolutely perfect ball as well from Candido. Again, he's absolutely storming these balls to his receivers.
Yeah, and now this is a much easier situation than what they had on the previous drive. 3rd and 4, your entire playbook is open to you. What is going to work to not even just get the 1st down here? What can get you a touchdown? As they look like they're going to pass, and they do. He's under pressure immediately. Still on his feet. Good dancing. He's going to have some space if he chooses to run. He throws it. Going to be incomplete.
And I mean, that is just pure athleticism from the man out of, gosh, I forgot it.
Candido.
Westerlin College over in the States, out of Connecticut. But I mean, just managing to, we've seen him get out of these very, very low diving tackles before, trying to find a man, and it was very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen him take a sack today, have we?
And they are going to be trying to kick it here. I mean, I think this is smart for the Saints. I mean, Crane here has been fantastic so far today.
And he continues to be so, with that going through for 3, bringing the score line to UWE 20, Durham 17.
I mean, that is just the Durham Saints showing that they have belief in this offense. They can get something going.
In this offense and in this defense. You know, they have faith that this defense is going to keep the game within 3.
I mean, even if it's a punt or even if it's a kickoff, the dangerous nature of the kickoff unit of the Durham Saints, or the return unit, has been shown here. So it's really interesting to see, you know, as this game progresses, what the Bullets do if they find themselves in that situation.
Yeah, and now Durham have maybe exhausted all the trick plays they can do here from the kickoff unit. UWE prepared for anything. Onside, kick short, kick long. They're prepared for it all.
And I mean, the Durham Saints here, I mean, missing a player. I mean, the Durham Saints have been pretty well drilled so far. I mean, that's the only time I've seen there's been any sort of miscommunication, but they managed to get it off just in case.
Yeah, no personnel issues, couple of false starts, couple of offsides, usual, obviously excluding personal fouls, but they've been switched on in terms of what they're looking to do, and just not there. Going with a nice high kick.
And it's caught by Quinton Wimmer. That is a man you don't want to have that ball.
Yeah, and he's still on his feet. He's still going, still making yards. Still going on his feet, driving. It took 3 players. Number 6 desperately tried to rip that ball. Not a smart decision.
No, I mean, out of all the players that like you don't want to kick to on the UWE Bullets, I don't imagine that giving it to 44 was the intention.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some teams might put people in the middle that aren't good ball carriers, and they thought that was the case here. You were missold PPI, Durham, on that one, and UWE will start with the ball at about the 45-yard line.
And inside,
about 43.
I mean, inside of Durham territory, and I mean, if I'm quick enough, I might feel a bit hard done by there. Like, you're kicking to me, what's going on? They're going to run it up the middle, but Durham are going to be able to kibosh that before any extra yards are gained.
Yeah, that was from Quinton Winner. Was very much a, first of all, how dare you? I'm going to take this ball, I'm going to take yards, and I'm going to take 3 of your players along for the ride. And UWE getting a good amount of yards there for, you know, a regular good amount of yards. 3 yards, 4 yards on that first play. 2nd and 7. Playbook open. Lots of potential opportunities here for UWE on this drive.
So another handoff.
And great job there, getting through the line. Number 57, unblocked, tacks down the line from the edge, and that'll be a tackle for a loss, or about the same.
He's going to be...
Yeah, just unblocked. Just unblocked. UWE really struggling with not the edge, but just like whoever's coming through that C gap, really struggling. And from what was a good first play, we're now at 3rd and 8 for UWE. And this is what Durham were hoping for when kicking that field goal. Can we get the ball back quickly? Going to the quick pass. Quinton Winner's still on his feet, still going. Nobody wants to tackle him. Still nobody wants to tackle him. Trips. We're seeing a lot of faces going, hold on, didn't we just kick that ball to that guy thinking he wasn't about that life? And he is. He is about that life. Getting the first down, a critical first down for this UWE offense. It's nobody driving forward. Everybody just standing still, waiting for him to make the decision. Nobody taking the initiative.
I mean, a very dangerous man, number 44. We have been aware of this for a while, and I mean, just showing his presence on the field, not just on special teams.
No, and we're seeing him out there again, lining up at the tight end position, H position. Durham making some noise on the sideline. UWE going to the ground game. No space there at all.
And 48 of Durham was just there to wrap up number 2 of the Bullets. It's going to be a gain of, you know, once again, a humble gain of 2 on the play there for the Bullets. As what sort of come to be the norm here for a first down for the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, Durham, a lot of playmakers on this defense. You know, we've seen the defensive back number 1 make an incredible play to stop a touchdown. 48, 33, and 57 seem to be in every single tackling situation. You know, they've got some good players there that are making plays. This sideline getting behind their defense. What's going to happen here on 2nd down?
I mean, the National Prem is just, it's only in its 2nd year, but it feels like it's already improved to be what it wants to be. So it's going to be a handoff, gets round 1.
Yeah, and he's got space, he's got a bit of a lane, he cuts it back into the middle. That will be enough for a first down. He's still going, still driving, finally taken down at about the 1 yard line.
And I mean, you love to see it when you get these players just pushing the running back, just really, really driving him forward, even when his momentum has stopped. We need to have another look at this.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, 57 gets through, just a bit too aggressive on his drive forward, takes himself out of the play, nobody there to stop that lane, and just keeps driving forward after a big cutback, gets his big boys behind him, drives them forwards to, looks like they're giving it to about the 2, just trying to see where the down marker is. Either way, it's 1st and goal.
There's going to be another handoff
Yeah,
up the
loads
middle.
of space up the middle. That is a
But
touchdown.
there is going to be a flag on the play on that opposite sideline.
Yeah, and to me, this is maybe too many men on the line of scrimmage, just based off of where that flag's come from. More than likely going to be on UWE. Yeah, and it will be. We're hearing just some shouts from the UWE sideline from the coaching staff. Coach Dan Mayer just letting his quarterback know, hey, don't worry about the penalty. Just get the next play ready.
Illegal procedure, illegal formation. Too many men in the offensive backfield. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Oh, that's the opposite of what I said the penalty was going to be. But thank you for that, Ollie. Ollie, a member of BAFRA. All today's officials are members of the British American Football Referees Association. For more information about becoming an American football referee, visit the BAFRA website at www.bafra.info.
So once again, I feel like I'm very, very tired of using this cliche, and I'm tired of it. Shooting themselves in the foot, another yellow flag dictating the UWE Bullets here. They need to score to make up for that flag.
Yeah, they absolutely do, and we're going to see them go to the ground again. Again, over pursuit from the Durham defense, but everybody else able to clear it up. Looks like it's going to be a very small gain, if anything, yet probably 1 or 2 yards.
I mean, it looks like we are going to have a Durham player down as well.
Yeah, he's holding his calf, able to get up, maybe just a bit of cramp, maybe got trod on. He is getting off, looking stylish as he does it.
I tell you what, that is some impressive. That's some impressive hopping. I couldn't do that.
Absolutely not. As UWE line up for this second down at about the 5-yard line.
So another timeout called by UWE. They've only got one left now.
Timeout.
But I imagine
Ball by UWE. 6
the
minutes,
coaching
28.
staff are well aware of what
That is
a
their first timeout of
critical
the half.
situation this is.
Absolutely. This all comes down to whether they score the touchdown or not. Durham are able to stop the touchdown, the momentum well and truly on the
UWE's
side.
second timeout of the half. Their second timeout.
Momentum well and truly would be on Durham's side. They kicked the field goal with the intention of stopping this UWE offense. If they can do that, all bets are off. Durham driving down the field, just needing a field goal to tie this game, but obviously would want much more than that. First things first though, they have 3 downs to stop UWE from getting into the end zone. Are they going to be able to do it?
Durham Saints have travelled all this way, played such a good game, and it's been close. I can't imagine what the scoreline's going to look like when the Bullets have to make the long journey up to play the Saints. But I mean, let's be honest, that's a while away. Why am I thinking about that now? I need to stay locked in. It's the 4th quarter. Bullets are up by 3, and they are encroaching on the Durham end zone.
Yeah, they're going to want to make something happen here, especially after play getting them to the... Well, they've already been in the end zone. There was just a penalty for something that could have been resolved. Going to the air, catch made, still on his feet, looking to drive forward, unable to this time.
Oh my
About
God.
10 Durham players around him, still couldn't take him down. But they do stop him before he can make something happen.
I mean, it's just impressive there that there was white jerseys hanging off of Wimmer there, and looks like there was still forward progression.
Oh yeah, he's still going. Look at that, he's driving forward. He's pushing forward 6 Durham defenders. But not enough to get into the end zone, which brings up 3rd down and about 4. I don't even know if he made any yards there, but I'm being generous, giving him 1. First of all, how dare you? Mind out of the gutter as we get ready for this 3rd down.
Oh, that wasn't what I was saying. I mean, you can hear the Durham Saints offense. They're getting hyped. It's going number 7.
And he's got some space to the outside. He bounces one more time. He's going to have the speed to get into the end zone. Do we see any flags? Hands up from UWE defenders saying, I did not do anything illegal. Referees agree, and that will be 6 points for UWE.
I mean, it's going to be a very, very interesting rest of the game here from the Durham Saints.
Yeah, UWE will be lining up for 2 points here, but this will be a 9-point difference before the snap is even undertaken. But yeah, what a play. You know, really good work there. That's one thing we haven't seen from these running backs, is them being able to bounce it to the outside. There's a lot of speed. There's a lot of acceleration in these running backs. In previous weeks, we have seen them bounce to the outside and just go. Durham have done a fantastic job of containing and were unable to do so on that play, giving up 6. As there's a flag on the play.
Delay of game. On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty. We will continue with the try.
I do feel as though when it comes to, you know, the classroom session of this game, that the entire UWE coaching staff are going to be, I would love to see and love to know what the penalty yardage for this game is. I think they're not just from the Bullets, but from the Saints as well. It's not been a clean game by any stretch of the imagination.
No, you know, commentating on a lot of UWE games, we have seen a lot of yellow in the past. Probably their first national championship against Notts.
Oh yeah,
was,
I remember that one.
That was all flags. Today has been pretty close in terms of how much laundry's been thrown, as they are going for the long. He's got space, he's got people in the end zone, he's bouncing around, he's dancing, there's still no throw, there's still no flags. He's taking it himself, he comes back in the middle, and he gets in! Ethan Gretzinger with a miracle 2-point conversion.
I mean, maximum amount of effort there from Ethan Gretzinger. It looked as though that was going nowhere. I mean, realistically, quite reminiscent of what we've seen from Candido today in managing to just burst round the outside and make some space, but 2 extra points on the board now for the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, my eyes were downfield at the start of that play, so I was just like, why isn't Ethan throwing it? He's got people. And then I glanced over and he's under so much pressure, but he's dancing, he's getting himself out of there. And more importantly, you know, 7 yards to go, able to turn it around the corner, bring it back into the inside. 8-point drive for UWE, and that really changes things here from a 3-point game to an 11-point game. Durham are going to have to make something really happen here.
I mean, now we're going to see if the UWE Bullets are going to make any sort of adjustment on their kickoff unit, considering that they should now be aware of how dangerous the return of the Durham Saints is.
Yeah, it's dangerous, it's tricky. You know, they've clearly got a lot of things planned. You don't only have to be prepared for the reverse, you have to be prepared for the keep. There's lots of things that can go on here. If he can kick it out of the back of the end zone, that's his best option. He does boot it deep. It is going to be collected. Inbounds. And it just breaks one tackle. He's going to have space. And he's going to, nearly broke another one.
And I mean, Sparks trying to jump over his man there, but just could not, I mean, get the verticality. And the Durham Saints are going to start with, you know, realistically, I imagine they wanted a bit more. They always want a bit more, but just couldn't be done there from Sparks.
Great little move there from Sparks. Like you say, looks to jump over here. Number 8 goes for the tackle, gets the trip. Wouldn't have complained if the refs threw a flag on that one.
I don't think the UWE player on the back of Sparks there helped the referee's choice not to throw the flag. But I do agree that if a yellow flag did come out, you'd hear no complaining from the commentary box.
I've never complained about a call ever in my life. As Durham line up here for first down. Candido going to the air. Has a man over the middle, number 13. Good catch, and will be a first down.
I think that 13 might actually have a case here for not being down, if I'm completely honest. I think we're going to have to see the replay of that. It did look to me that he rolled over the UWE defender there, but I could just be hoping for an absolutely sensational play.
Yeah, as we see the play here again, he cuts. Nice little cut in the middle, just in front of his man there. Gets tackled. Yeah, I would say he's probably down there. Elbows down. Good effort.
So fakes the handoff. And I mean, a Candido run that doesn't go for much. Very, very untypical of what we've seen today.
Yeah, and he does a good job of dragging the defender across. Makes a yard. Hard fought yard there. Had a bit of space, but yeah, you just see there's 2 men in the backfield for UWE. Makes it incredibly difficult when you're running that kind of option play to pick either option.
So only going to be a gain of 1 on the play there for Durham.
Oh.
You know, a bit of movement there and the flags come flying.
Hard for us to see. Well, I'm not going to make assumptions for yourself, but I don't know which side that one was on.
I do feel the same way. There was just a lot of movement, and I mean, from the Durham reaction here, it's going to be on the
Full
Saints.
start. On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first, second down.
So 2nd and 13 is going to be the challenge now for the Saints. You know, the unofficial timer on the live stream, I mean, there is some accuracy to it. The Durham Saints don't have too much time left. We do know that they've managed to convert an onside already today, but will that make the Bullets more likely to have it? I mean, Candido's dropped back so far.
He's thrown it deep though. He's got a man, and it's nearly picked off. Number 7 having to play defense in the air. Candido, doesn't matter how much pressure he's under, he is just looking downfield. We see a flag.
I think it may be another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I'm not sure who won. I mean, it looks like it could be on the Bullets, and there were some Bullets in the backfield with Candido and some of the other Durham Saints, but that is just an assumption. So we're going to have to go to Ollie, our ref, to find out what that gloriously thrown flag was.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 74, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
So bang, nail on the head. And once again, a flag on the Bullets is going to give the Durham Saints a fresh set of downs and a whole heap of yardage.
Yeah, and there's just no need for it, and that's so close to being intercepted. Not that it would have mattered necessarily in the end. But yeah, very, you know, UWE, come on. Come on, guys. I know you said you were making a bit of an assumption that that was going to be on a UWE player. I don't think anybody watching this felt that that was an unfair assumption at all.
So, I mean, that penalty now has the Durham Saints in the UWE half of the field.
And they'll be going to the air. Dancing around. He's going to have some space. He's looking to tuck and run.
Oh, my God. Just avoided defenders. He's got a man in his face. Throws it out wide, but it's just going to go onto the sideline of the Saints.
Yeah, UWE doing a really good job of keeping Candido on his feet, keeping him dancing around, keeping him moving, but just unable to get to him, which is the big difference here. Candido keeping this Durham Saints team in it.
I mean, I'd love to know the pedometer reading of Nico Candido once this game is over, because he's been running around a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it's unfair when we say, like, oh, Candido managed to run it for about 5 yards. He really ran for about 70 in the backfield before getting those 5 yards. But we are going to see second down here.
So it hits Candido in the face mask. He manages to get it and just fires out to his left-hand side. He's found a receiver who has got some space. Not going to be enough for a first down, but I'd say it's going to be either 5 or 6. But great recovery there from Candido, because that ball hit him square in the face cage.
Yeah, and he did a really, really good job of making his way through his progressions after it did. He knew he didn't have much time. Obviously, when things like this happen, it takes you out of your rhythm. So he looks down, he sees the ball there, looks down, nothing there. There's my dump off option. Get it to your running back. Nobody really on the running back, nobody close, allowing the running back to make 6 yards, bringing up third down.
I'm completely wrong. I thought that went for a lot further. It's going to be a third, and I'm going to say 7 here for the Durham Saints. Candido fires it to the right-hand side. He finds a man, slips it down, but let's have a look at the yardage.
I think it's going to be short, but Durham will be going for this. Clock is running. There's less than 4 minutes to go. Durham are down by 11. This is, regardless of what happened on that play, they were going for this 4th down.
I mean, 4th and 2 here, and Durham have managed to get these, small yardages pretty easily, I'd say.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they go for here. Attempts to go for a run, maybe a quarterback keep. Looks to throw it down the middle, and it is not completed. Too much traffic over the middle of the field. UWE will get the ball back late in the game. 11 points difference. UWE, one timeout left. Durham, all of their timeouts. Plenty of chances to get the ball back. But that could be the game right there.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not impossible here for the Durham Saints, but I mean, they needed that conversion like they need air. I mean, the UWE Bullets are going to be able to, especially considering how dominant their running attack has been, really take some time off this clock, if not all of it.
Yeah, and that was a really, really good play from the UWE defenders. Like you said, definitely never say never. You know, we've seen games between a few years ago between UWE and Leeds that had a very similar deficit, and they were able to turn it around. But UWE sticking to the ground.
And I mean, you've got to give credit there to, once again, number 44 leading the charge. I still think there's probably some level of annoyance that he had that ball kicked to him, but that is me projecting if I was him. But then, you know, I think Quinton's got muscles in places where I don't even have places.
There's a lot of athletes on both sides of the ball, and yeah, I would be annoyed. I would be annoyed. I'd be like, oh, you kicked it to me, thinking that I was useless.
I'll put it like this: when I was at the Gloucestershire Gladiators, and they were doing, you know, kickoff drills, who'd they kick it to? They kicked it to your boy, and my self-esteem went into the toilet.
It's a 2-minute warning. 2 minutes.
As we hit the 2-minute warning here, UWE did get a first down on that running play, bringing up a new set of downs. And I mean, Durham with their timeouts, gonna have to use them here and hope they can turn the ball over.
I mean, it would be divine intervention here for the Saints if they manage to, you know, put some more points on the board, give themselves a chance here, because, you know, this scoreline, 11 points, the Durham Saints have been, you know, there are elements of this game where they have been in control. And I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see what these two teams will look like going forward here. I mean, looks like UWE, if they manage to maintain this after that loss to Nottingham, where do the Bullets go from here? I personally, if I'm the Saints, this is only going to fuel me up for the rematch up at the University of Durham. Interesting play call here to give it to... Oh, no. I tell you what, that was a very tricky play call. As soon as I saw that in the hand... Yeah, but
we're seeing players down, 3-4 players down. Hopefully nothing too serious. Not the time to start.
I mean, number 6-7, you can even see that Ethan himself is pretty slow there to get up.
Yeah, not necessarily the play call we wanted to see from a UWE standpoint, and definitely not the result with the injuries potentially occurring afterwards. We're seeing some knees taken, people moving.
Called by Durham at 1:54.
Yeah,
that is their first time out of the half.
But yeah, I mean, listen, this game has been phenomenal to call. Both teams have been great. Durham unable to keep that momentum. Like, it really felt like they were in UWE's heads. And like you say, you know, they need that fuel to continue to the return fixture.
I mean, I feel like the real winner here is just British University American football. If I'm completely honest, the national prem with, you know, these teams that are gunning it out at the top, and you know,
yeah, that is just a lot of collisions going on there on that play. Sorry to interrupt you there.
I mean, like, when you've got three teams that could realistically walk away with the national championship, that's good. We like to see it's going to be another handoff here. Oh, Duke's one man.
And he's going to make another man just completely not bother. But I think they're going to give a flag. I don't think that's a fair flag to give. 30 stuck in the mud. Maybe going to get away with the indecision there, looking like a hold. But yeah, that will be a penalty on UWE, I imagine. But yeah, I mean, this has been a phenomenal game. The return fixture is going to be a great one. Unfortunately, I've got rent to pay, so I won't be able to afford to watch the return fixture. 10 yards to the previous spot,
repeat the down.
But anybody that does will be in for a treat, that is for sure.
I mean, I had someone else be like, oh, you're going to go up for that fixture? And it's like, brother, please.
That is a long way to go.
I love the sport, don't get me wrong, but no. But no, simply no.
Yeah, and as we see here, it's just here, number 30. I don't know. I think that was a really fun, just a funny thing to happen there. I mean, it's going to take a lot for Durham to come back from this situation anyway. Head's not necessarily dropped on the sideline, but noise definitely a lot quieter than it was. It's almost like I'm talking loud enough for them to hear me. As the ball's on the floor, Ethan able to pick it up, scrambling around, looking downfield. Only possible outcome there was going to be a pick. Really surprised to see UWE go to the air one more time here. They really don't need to. This game's been far too close, and there's still time on the clock.
It's a very, very strange play call here. I mean, now looking at third. Is it third?
Be third and 20.
He's going to be
holding.
He's going to be third and 20 here. I mean, it looks like they are going to give. Well, I mean, unless this play can be something absolutely spectacular, they're going to be giving Durham back the ball. Obviously, Durham burning their timeouts.
Only one, I think. They've not needed to. Two incomplete passes. They've not needed to. They've not needed to burn timeouts here. And this time, UWE have to go to the air. Ethan looking deep. He looks very deep. He's got a man. Unable to get there. Good throw, but just great coverage from Durham. And the clock stops once again. Durham with their timeouts and now about to get the ball back.
I mean, Chance
And
Sparks.
this game's not over. Sorry. I know you want to get your Chance Sparks in there. You want to get those puns. But this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination.
It really isn't. It's a very surprising set of calls from the UWE Bullets, considering how dominant that run game has been, that they're now giving the Durham Saints the ball back, and they know that they can throw it deep. Very, very interesting here. So almost blocked there, I will say, by the Durham Saints. Is going to be returned.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of nothing as the UWE players swarm.
And I mean, probably the best punt return coverage we've seen of the Bullets today when they needed it most. Again, game is still not over yet. There is still a minute. We've seen American football games end in absolute magic, and it could be the same here for the Durham Saints, but they're going to need to throw absolutely everything. Yeah,
and they're capable of it. They're absolutely capable of coming back here. All it takes is a big play here. They've already recovered one onside kick. They could easily recover another one. UWE have to just play disciplined more than anything else here. No penalties, no yards. And they can come away with a much-needed win.
Of course, Candido is going to drop back. We know he can fire. He's under pursuit, and he's being swarmed.
And that will be a sack. That's UWE's first sack of the day. Unable to get out there, out of the pocket. He's been under pressure all day. He's done a fantastic job of running about the place. Maybe, you know, it's a bit of tiredness. It's going to be. We're late. It's pure will, determination that gets you through these last 2 minutes.
Called by Durham at 1 minute 14. That is their second time out of the half.
So one timeout remaining here for the Saints. I mean, the sack is not what you want, and you can see the amount of yardage that the Durham Saints lost on that. Is looking like at least a second, and I'm going to say 22, 23.
Yeah, I mean, that's the downside to being able to dance around like that in the backfield. If you do get got, you get got for a lot. But Durham with the timeout. And again, we've seen Durham be able to lob this ball deep. Candido throwing it deep as he pleases at some times in this game. And if they get a touchdown, they're going to have a minute to try and make something happen.
So second and about 20. Well, I'd say more than 20, 23. Let's go with that. And he's going to need something massive here. He's going to pump once.
And he's going to get sacked.
And there's a lot of piling on there. There's some exclamations from the Durham side. And I do agree. I mean, there was a lot of piling on there, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's piling on for both teams, if we're honest. It was hard to keep track of what was going on. He's a very shifty quarterback, is Candido. As we see him here, looking there, nothing open, looking deep, nothing there. Tries to drive through the middle, gets caught up, gets grabbed by one player, dragged to the floor, another player down, 18's tripped over, 62's on top. Yeah,
I mean, that is their third and final timeout of the half.
You know, to be fair, there was a lot of piling on from both teams there. I don't think you can really complain about that. I mean, some Durham players, I don't know why the Durham players are jumping in. The tackle was made.
It's frustration. Yeah. You know, it's frustration. They played an incredible game today. They'll feel the score line doesn't represent the game that this has been. And the effort they've put in all phases, I can't stress enough how much of a team effort this has been from the Durham Saints. UWE just being able to bring things out when it's been needed the most. The biggest stop of the day happened to be leading to Durham kicking the field goal, bringing this to a 20-17 game, giving the ball back to UWE with the task of, hey, score a touchdown and we're out. You know?
So, I mean, really, well, it's not all or nothing, because I imagine they'll even go for it on fourth down if they get it, but Candido's going to drop back. 2 sacks has been the play call, looking for number 14.
Yeah, he has a nice little stop and go movement, looks like a little out route, bringing it back to the inside. Nothing there. We hear some whistles. Are they flag whistles? Just whistles.
I can't see any yellow laundry on the field, but I'm going to keep scanning.
It's tough when it's in the middle of the field and I look over, I'm like, oh, I've seen yellow, but it's just Coach T of the UWE Bullets' his yellow gloves that he wears.
They're so yellow.
And it throws me off every time.
So fourth down here, I mean, no hyperbole once again, all or nothing here for the Durham Saints. We've got some men back deep for the Bullets, because of course they do, because this is going to be, I mean, the Saints are about to throw a Hail Mary. Oh my God, it's almost too good.
Yeah, he's just going to run, just trying to create some space. He's going to get hit at the end here. Does make the play, makes the catch. He's going to have to pitch this out if he can't break, but he is breaking tackles. He is taken down eventually. There is still time on the clock. If they can get themselves down, spike the ball, do what you need to. You are still in this game. Great throw, great catch, great running.
I mean, they're taking a bit too much time here for my liking. They need to get this ball spiked immediately.
And I don't think they're spiking it. They're going straight for another play. Why not? Run that same play, sing that same song as they go to the air.
Candido's rolling out, sets to fire.
He's looking in the end zone. He's got somebody back there, puts his hands up, unable to make it happen. And is there time on the clock? There must be.
So the ball's not going to the white hand referee, which means there is still time on the clock here. I will say that I think
as we see, let's just see this replay again from number 14. Does a fantastic job, just fighting the whole way. And we're seeing a timeout, I believe, for Durham.
Third.
Timeout. Called by UWE at 11 seconds.
Oh, it's called by UWE.
That is their third and final timeout of the half.
I mean, it seems as though that the Durham's chances here, I think they're going to be able to get this ball back, even if they do score here. But I mean, just putting some more points on the board, making it look a bit more close than, I mean, it has actually been.
If they get, I'm trying to think of times here. 11 seconds can be a very, very long time in this sport.
It can be. I mean, it's because of the play style of Candido, like having to spend that much time in the pocket is draining the clock here. I mean, realistically, I'd say, you know, best case scenario is they score a touchdown here in pretty quick order, kick it again, and then, you know, they might have one play after the kick if they manage to get that. But this is all very, very best case scenario here for the Durham Saints.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You see those win probabilities and how they go up and down. If Durham had a 1% chance of winning before that last play, they now have a 2% chance of winning. It's still a long shot, but they have increased their opportunities here by being within striking distance with 11 seconds to go. They go to the air, barely a pass rush, tons of time for Candido. He will enjoy having that space. He's got a man, and there's a dropped interception. There will be a flag for some blatant PI from the UWE defenders. And probably, I mean, 11 seconds, long time.
It's going to be interesting to see just how much time is left on the clock here. Durham are once again moving closer to being in scoring position, but it doesn't, I mean, it would certainly be interesting if they had some more time on the clock, but I don't think that they do, as the referees conversate about the yellow laundry.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Yeah, we've seen both teams do it with the potential of giving up a touchdown. I'll give up 15 yards instead. Candido putting this ball up in the air. Yeah, the defender just keeps hold of that arm. Again, another dropped interception for UWE, but one that wouldn't have mattered with the extracurriculars going on behind him. Couple seconds left on the clock. I doubt there's time if this goes into the end zone now for Durham to do anything. I believe this is probably going to be the last play regardless, unless there's a penalty which causes an untimed down. Throw it across his body. He's got men. He's got people available.
And I mean, great defending there. And we're going to wait for some whistles.
That is the end of the game.
And I mean, what a game this was.
That was a fantastic game.
Like, what a game this was. As much as, you know, the Bullets, they've come away with a victory here, the Durham Saints are for real.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, unless these two teams, disasters to happen in the playoffs, you know, where they're not playing each other or one loses, the other does, you know, both lose. I think this is the first of a trilogy of games between these teams this year. And let's hope the other two deliver. One at least. I
mean, given that the Durham Saints have yet to play the Nottingham Gold, I think that's going to be another game that is going to be must watch for in both fixtures. But I mean, what a fantastic game this was. I mean, the National Premiership, only in its second year, continues to evolve and impress. The UWE Bullets, after a big loss to the, well, a big loss emotionally to the Nottingham Gold, come away with the victory here. And I completely agree with you. I think the clutch factor of the UWE Bullets is what has given them this win today.
Yeah, and they needed it. Last week's game came down to the final plays, you know, after hard fought, lots of penalties, but came down to the final play. They were looking to avoid that at all costs, and for the longest time, it looked like this was going to come down to 1 or 2 points. Either way, both teams deserving of the victory today, but the victory going to the home team, to the UWE Bullets.
And to be fair, my opinion of this game is the UWE Bullets did seem uncharacteristically, you know, not uninspired for some of this game, but morale seemed to be at an all-time low that I've seen on the UWE Bullets sideline.
Yeah, there was definitely a case to be made for low morale. I think seeing some of the flags that were going out, just the way some of these drives were happening, it was causing some heads to lower. It was causing some discipline problems, for lack of a better term, from this UWE team, and it nearly bit them. It nearly caused them to lose this game. They were able to turn things around, which was especially difficult after the onside kick recovery to start this second half, but they were able to get through that and come away with a victory, a scoreline that looks a lot more dominating than it really was.
I mean, it's going to be one of these things where this game's going to be, I mean, looked at for the rest of this season as a, you know, measuring point for both teams. I mean, the Durham Saints, as I've said, they are for real. It's as simple as that, in my estimation. And I think when they play the Gold, that's going to be a great game. Wouldn't surprise me if the Durham Saints take the Gold. And, you know, when it comes time for the UWE Bullets to hop on a coach and travel far up north, I mean, that game is still, as far as I'm concerned, 50-50.
I think there's a lot of games in this National Premiership that are 50-50. I think UWE versus Durham, UWE versus Nottingham, Nottingham versus Durham, these are all games that are 50-50. We've seen some good players on the Leeds team, we've seen some good players on the Loughborough team. Can they turn things around and start to keep up to the level that these three other teams are producing? Coming to the end here, the UWE players are, you know, getting in their huddle. We'll see if we can get hold of anybody. I might try and get hold of a coach while the players do their little talk there. And then see if we can get maybe Keon, number 2. I think he was one of the best players on this UWE front today.
I mean, definitely, he created a lot of yardage and a lot of opportunities for the Bullets. But I mean, it's one of those things where the Durham Saints team, they are going to be upset. I mean, I do understand, but an absolutely fantastic performance from the Durham Saints. I mean, this triumvirate of fantastic football in the National Premiership. I think the Durham Saints, they shouldn't feel ashamed to lose to the UWE Bullets, because that was an absolutely fantastic game, and just the juice that the Durham Saints were able to bring. But I mean, when it comes to the Writers' Poll rankings, it wouldn't surprise me now to see the UWE Bullets jump ahead of the Durham Saints into that 2 position. I mean, having the UWE Bullets at 3 was always a bit of a risky proposition, given that they are in fact the UWE Bullets. I'm sure we are going to have some conversations with some UWE coaches, and we certainly are. as it's been a stressful day at the office, one that doesn't tend to happen too much here at Hillside Gardens, but hard fought victory for the UWE Bullets.
Okay, and we are joined by Special Teams Coordinator, Mr. Anthony Fersman. Big game. Scoreline, I don't think, does it justice. That was an incredibly close game up until the last little bit. Brought you over because both special teams played very well today.
Yeah, stressful game. I know we spoke about it before the kickoff. You know, for us, we want big games. We want fun games. We want exciting games, and I think we delivered that today. So that was good. Yeah, both special teams had a big impact. You know, kind of as a special teams coordinator, sometimes I want less of an impact from the special teams. But yeah, really good onside kick from them. But you know, our punt team was fantastic today. So shout out to kicker Josh. He was incredible.
Yeah, he did a good job. He did what he needed to do. I have to ask, surprise onside kick to start the second half. Obviously, you weren't expecting it. How did that affect the sideline? Because obviously that was a big momentum changer when you thought you were going to be getting the ball with the lead already.
Yeah, I think it was frustrating. You know, lack of discipline at the end of the first half put it 15 yards on the 50. So, you know, for us, we were expecting it to some extent, but it was, you know, you have to take your hats off sometimes. It was a perfectly executed onside kick, exactly 10 yards. So
it looked very close. We were saying that on the sideline.
No,
I was like, that is, whoa, we'll trust the referees on this one. Yeah, so obviously, like, a lot came down to those special teams plays. The kick return, they got a bit fancy with that. They obviously have a lot of respect for your special teams going with those short kicks, but to their detriment in the end.
Yeah, and we spoke about that before the game. It's, you know, if anyone's watching from these other teams, we've got to, you know, enjoy special teams. Special teams is a fantastic unit. They deserve to have an impact on the game, and some of these short kicks, you know, they frustrate me as a special teams coordinator, but anytime we give our offense the ball, you know, inside 35 yards plus, I'm happy. So
absolutely. Well, you deserve to be happy. You know, frustrating game against Nottingham previously. Good to get a win on the board against another extremely tough team here today. I think we were just saying before you came over, 6 games this year between those 3 teams is going to be a lot of fun. You know, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, super exciting. You know, that's what we want. That's the whole point of the National Prem, is to have the best teams playing the best teams. We've got, as you said, another few games in the regular season and hopefully some exciting games in the playoffs as well. So, yeah, long season ahead. But for the guys, yeah, enjoying this win is going to be key. Absolutely.
Good time of year to be enjoying a win. They've done a very good job, especially considering the rain and everything. Want to give a massive congratulations to yourself and the rest of the coaching staff. Thank you for joining us, and well done, and go and enjoy the victory.
Sweet. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Cheers. That's Coach Anthony Fersman, just giving us a bit of insight in the in terms of how things went on special teams. You know, an unsung part of the game, but always good to get his insight on it.
I mean, definitely one of the questions that I'm going to go up and ask, you know, Q number 44. How did you feel? How did you feel when that ball landed perfectly in your arms? Were you just taken aback, like, what is this doing here? This shouldn't be mine.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I do kind of want to get him over. We'll get Keon over. He was a fantastic player. He did incredibly well. You know, we see some of the special teams here at the moment. But yeah, that is one of those ones I kind of want to interview him to be like, come on, how annoying was that? But instead, we have got Keon coming over. You just want to grab this stand in the middle between us there. There we are, watch out. There we are, lots of wires going on. There we are. Congratulations on the win, first and foremost. You had an incredible game today, I gotta say. Yeah. It seemed like the offense was running through you. You were finding space where others couldn't, and just took it on your shoulders.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give all thanks to my old linemen. They blocked their tails off, and then the OC JC, he called the right plays, right time, allowed me to perform and do what I need to do to help the team win. So that's all I can say. As much, you know, you could say I did a lot, but it's all the O-line. They did their thing. So
yeah, I mean the O-line blocked incredibly. There was a couple of plays where it looked like you'd been tackled short, and you'd still gained like 4 yards, 5 yards, because they just did a fantastic job blocking. Yes, the defense you were up against today, very, very tough. Used to seeing players like yourself being able to get to the outside, you know, using the speed and the power. It just wasn't there today. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of cutting in the middle of the field, a lot of vision from yourself. Was it a frustrating game? It felt frustrating from the sideline that you guys just weren't able to get going the way you would like, but you know, it looked like you just trusted yourself, trusted the process, and then just...
Yeah, and, you know, it's going to be some obstacles and then tough battles when we run the ball, but that's when you rely on each other and the coaches to come and overcome that. So that's what we did. We told ourselves to calm down, and that's what we just strive in, calm down, just move the ball down the field.
And I think especially after the last game being a loss, coming back, getting a win, and being able to play like that the way you did on offense. Flags aside, I felt that it was an extremely well-played game, and yeah, congratulations to yourself and the offensive line.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Nice talking to y'all.
Thanks. Go enjoy the victory. Cheers. And that was Keon there, playing fantastically well. And that'll bring us to the end of the broadcast today. This has been an incredible spectacle of British American football and how well everybody's playing at the moment. The final scoreline, 28 to the UWE Bullets, Durham Saints 17. Chris, any final words before we sign off?
I mean, just completely impressive. Nothing else to say. It's going to be so exciting to see where not just the sport goes, but these two teams in this regular season.
Yeah, a lot of football still to be played in this season before we get to Big BUCS Wednesday, where this game will kick everything off as it usually does. But we've got Christmas to go before then. Big thank you to Chris for joining me today and for taking the reins while I missed the first play. Big thank you, as always, to CheersMate for producing such an incredible product for us to get to commentate on. And thank you to everybody that has watched today. We hope you have enjoyed. Once again, the final score today, UWE Bullets 28, Durham Saints 17, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening.